Welcome to playoff football on Telecable. Hi, I'm Art Kimball, and we're happy to be joined this afternoon by Illinois Wesleyan's head football coach Norm Esch. A couple of Central Catholics colliding. Aurora Central Catholic, Bloomington Central Catholic, 3A semifinals. The winner moves into the state title ball game next weekend here at Hancock Stadium. Norm, anytime you get to this point in the playoffs, obviously both teams are good football teams.
Well, this is what it's all about, Art. This is two high school teams. They're playing the semifinal contest. They both want to get to the big game next week for the championship.
What have been your impressions of the Saints this year? A great turnaround from 2-7 a year ago. I know, Norm Esch, there's bound to be a couple of kids you'd like to see in green and white by the time they continue their careers.
I've seen them play 3 times this year, and Bobby Mays and the coaching staff really have them playing. They have some outstanding football players. Every time I've watched them play, I've seen improvement, and I think that's a key. As you go through the season, you want to peak at the end, and I still think they have their best ball game to play, and hopefully that'll be next week.
Aurora Central Catholic's strength has been ball control, according to all the people that follow them, and also head coach Mike Curry admits that. They're a big football team physically, not totally unlike the Hall Spring Valley team that Central beat here last week.
Well, I think anytime you get a team like that ball controls, I know Coach Mays is going to go in the game thinking that they want to do something with the football, get some first downs, put the ball in the end zone, and then try to get that ball back right away.
It'll be an interesting confrontation, I think, early on, because both teams have outstanding running backs. Corey Parker for Central Catholic, who's a little bit banged up right now, and of course Chris Kiley, who's not 100% either, but both will play today. And you've got a fine quarterback in Thompson to counteract Bardwell from Central Catholic. So seemingly we have a couple of balanced attacks here.
Well, it's going to be an interesting ball game because I think they're very much alike, and as far as running the football. It's going to come down to whether Central can put the ball up in the air a little bit and spread things out and see how Aurora reacts to that, Art.
You and I were laughing before doing the pregame here that we have to be careful about using the term Central Catholic. We're talking about both clubs, but let's talk about the Aurora version. The Chargers, they play a 4-4 defense. From a coaching standpoint, what is usually most effective against that set?
Well, I think that Bobby's going to look at a 4-4 set and see a 3-deep coverage. And, of course, they like to throw the football, so they're going to be able to throw the hooks and the flats and things like that, work a 2-on-1 game out there. And then running the football-wise, I think he's seen it before. I talked to Bobby earlier in the week, and they've seen it enough during the season where I think their kids are real comfortable going against that front.
Another factor, and kind of a final comment, the adjustment to the turf. I asked Mike Curry about his ball club. They worked up at Northern Illinois University this week, as did Spring Valley Hall last week in preparation for playing here. He said his kids didn't adjust tremendously to the turf, but at least they're familiar with it. This is an advantage for the Saints, no doubt about that.
Well, anytime you play on turf, the ball bounces funny, and if you're not used to it, it could cause some problems for you. You know, when you get in this type of ball game, Art, field position is a key, and that ball is going to bounce funny for Aurora, and they're not used to it. That could be a benefit for or advantage for Central Catholic today.
Okay, so much for speculation. We'll get our Aurora Central Catholics and Bloomington Central Catholics straightened out as the afternoon goes along. At any rate, we'll be back with the kickoff, so stay tuned. Class 3A semifinals. The Saints and the Chargers will have it for you in just a minute. Building a home in today's ever-changing real estate market raises many questions, and to you, every question is important. To answer them, you need an experienced real estate agent like Mary Lou Kimball of Coldwell Banker, Heart of America Realtors. Mary Lou is a full-time professional who will help you through the building process and answer all your questions. Remember, there are no unreasonable questions.
If you're interested in building a home, give me a call at Coldwell Banker, Heart of America, 662-9333.
The paper comes home on pay-per-view.
They made a bust in the Williamsburg shooting.
I got something for you.
This is so good. I'm running this tonight.
You don't have it, you know it.
Run what we've got.
What if these aren't the guys? What if they're innocent?
We only have to be right for a day.
This bust is totally cosmetic.
You want to run the story? Go get the story.
Where's this place?
The paper.
They got to get it.
On pay-per-view.
I got it!
Get Ron Howard's The Paper delivered home on pay-per-view.
Well, there you see the playing field here at Hancock Stadium. Aurora Central Catholic and Bloomington Central Catholic in the 3A semifinal round playoff matchup here this afternoon. The winner of this one will move into the 4:30 game Friday afternoon for the state 3A football championship against the winner between Carlinville and DuQuoin. They're kicking off at just about this hour down at DuQuoin. Of course, two schools with great football traditions there. as we have here. Central Catholic is making its 10th playoff appearance. If the Saints would win here today, they would be the first team in state history to move into the championship game in 3 different classes. And of course, if they would win the title next week, they would be the first team to ever accomplish that feat. The Saints back in 1982 won the state championship in 2A. In 87, they won the state title in 1A under John McIntyre. And of course, this is the second postseason appearance for Central Catholic with Bobby Mays at the helm. So, Normesh, that's quite a pedigree, isn't it?
Well, I think from the coach's standpoint, and being from a high school level myself, you know, that's what you want to do is get down here and play on the turf here at Hancock Stadium. And Central Catholic has a rich tradition of getting down here, and I just wish Coach Mays and his staff the best of luck today.
The Aurora Central Catholic Ball Club under Mike Curry, this is their 4th trip to the postseason. Curry's best run came in 1991 when they lost to Addison Driscoll in the quarterfinals 42-0. And Driscoll, you may recall, went on to win the state championship that year. Central Catholic Saints coming back out on the playing field. As you see on your screen, Aurora Central Catholic stayed out and did not go back in the locker room for last-minute instructions. The path goes like this for the 2 teams in the postseason. Aurora Central is 10-2 overall. Central Catholic is 11-1. As you'll see, the Saint cheerleaders, an excited group of young ladies this afternoon, and who can blame them? The Chargers defeated Nazareth 21-14, Evergreen Park 12-7. That game was a game Norm played in the mud and rain. Evergreen Park was state rated. That's a big win for Central Catholic from Aurora. They beat Woodstock Marian 25-6 last week.
Well, the Evergreen Park score is the one that gets everyone's attention because that's an outstanding ball team. And anytime you can beat a team that's undefeated like that, then you know you have a good ball team.
Yeah, it really can. And just to put it into perspective for the Saint fans, Evergreen Park defeated Mendota in the second game of the season by a point. And, of course, Central Catholic also owns a win over Mendota. In playoff competition, Central Catholic 17-0 over Canton, 7-6 over Pontiac, 28-20 over Hall. And, of course, they swing into semifinal play here. We'll be back and take a look at more pregame information for you. But first, let's take a break for this message.
If you had 3 channels of HBO, you'd have a night like this. Catch a comedy premiere on HBO. Robin Williams is Mrs. Doubtfire. It's drama on HBO 2. Sean Astin, Charles S. Dutton, Rudy. Or there's adventure on HBO 3. Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. 3 great choices, 3 different channels. 3 good reasons to watch HBO, the best choice on TV.
We will work hard to fill it up on the court this season. And we ask that you fill it up in the stands.
Reserve your seats today. For more information, call the Redbird Ticket Office at 438-8000.
Well, both ball clubs just about set to kick this one off. A pair of veteran coaches involved here. Mike Curry in his 8th year at Aurora Central Catholic. He's been coaching a shade longer than that. There you see Mike down on his knee. As you see his overall record, 49-31. He took Aquin to the state playoffs in 1981 in 1A and again at 1986. And I believe one of those years he won a state championship at Freeport-Aquin, as memory serves me correctly, maybe both years. Bobby Mays, a short coaching career, but of course he's been around this game a long, long time, Norm. 2011, he was on the Wesleyan staff for a number of years, wasn't he?
Bob did an outstanding job for Illinois Wesleyan. He was my #1 right-hand man offensively, and I like to see him do well over here at Central Catholic. Of course, he has an offensive mind, so that's why they're doing so well, putting the ball up and running it.
I would imagine you're not at all surprised with Bobby's success as a head football coach then.
Well, you know, when he was working at Wesleyan, you could see that Bobby was going to be a good head football coach. Mm-hmm. You hope that for your assistants, because I think one of the reasons you have a good staff is potential coaches that are going to go on to be head coaches.
Yeah, that's right. They always say if you can't promote from within your staff, you may not have the kind of staff you really want, and I think there's a lot of truth in that. The only losses on the brilliant campaigns for these 2 ball clubs, Aurora Central Catholic lost their season's opener to Marian of Woodstock 17-16, then lost a conference ball game to Walter Lutheran out of Melrose Park, 22-6. They played Nazareth Academy twice and defeated them twice, once in the regular season, once in the postseason. There you see the fans. That's the Aurora Central Catholic delegation here this afternoon. They're here in numbers, along with a lot of radio and newspaper coverage from up in the Aurora area. An area much like Bloomington Normal, Norm, where they take their sports very, very seriously, and that's exactly what it's all about here.
We couldn't ask for a nicer day. The weather's been great. There's a lot of people out. Anytime you can watch football in November and it's this nice, you know, that's what you want.
Well, you got that right. I think of the last couple of years in the playoffs with snowstorms, and I remember doing the East St. Louis Bloomington game last year, I think in the quarterfinals, where we just completely lost the field in the second half to snow as this increased steadily. Well, the reenactment of the coin toss is going on out at midfield. Aurora Central Catholic won the toss and will receive. They're reenacting it for one of the broadcast operations here. The Saints actually won the toss, as you see the indication from referee Paul Kendall. They have deferred. That means the Aurora Central Catholic Club will have the ball first. Bobby Mays has to have a little feeling as we see the Charger mascot. It's an interesting combo there. We'll talk about that more as the afternoon goes along. But Bobby Mays told me as I walked in the stadium this afternoon, his primary concern was getting the ball away from these guys, Norm, because they are a great ball control football team.
Well, you know, I'm familiar with that because we play Augustana, and that's what you worry about. Once a team like that gets the ball, you don't get your hands on it. So I think he's going to try offensively to ball control himself a little bit through the running game and passing game and get some first downs and keep their offense off the field.
Yeah, you've seen this Aurora Central Catholic offense in your sleep, haven't you? You're pretty familiar with it. You had a buck for every hour that Eshe's staff would diagram the wing tee and how to defend it. You could retire.
There's one thing about that, Art. You know what they're going to do. All you have to do is stop it.
All you got to do is execute on the defensive side. Jason Sproul, a young kid who's had a great year for Central Catholic, just a sophomore, will kick it off. If this gets down to necessity of a field goal, Sproul could be a big factor. Deep to receive in the middle back there is Ben Namesh. He's the wing back for Aurora Central. Andy Bohr back there with him, along with Brian Rosinski. The kickoff comes to Bohr, takes it on the 16, running laterally, comes to the 20-yard line at the 25, spun around and dropped it just about the 26-yard line. Good downfield kick coverage by the Saints. Finnegan was there, among others. And also Chris Kiley, who's there every time. There you see the Chargers offensive combination. Mark Tomsey at quarterback, Steve Cruz, a 1,400-yard-plus rusher at tail. Joe Curry, the coach's son, at fullback. Namash at the wingback position. Rosansky and Peterson, the split receivers. Rodgers, Whiten, Gonzalez, Langen, and Kunkel up front. Keep an eye on Langen as a linebacker, too. He's outstanding. First down, 26-yard line. Tomsey looks at the Central Catholic four-man defensive front. Hobart is getting the start at defensive tackle. This tripped up the ball carrier, but Cruz breaks the tackle to midfield. Down to the 45, to the 40. Finally pulled out at the 35-yard line. Deacon Provost caught Cruz from behind, and Norm, he very nearly busted that one.
Well, they had brought a little motion from the slot back position. It was second back through. They sealed it down, got a key block right there in the linebacker, and then he's in the secondary and did a great job of bringing him down from behind. Saved a touchdown there.
Provost caught up with him, refused to give up, or Cruz might have galloped in for the score. Cruz has scored, don't have his total number of touchdowns this year, but he has a 6-yard per carry average, and he certainly enhanced it there. First down, Chargers, Central Catholic 35-yard line, handoff for virtually nothing. They went to Namesh, the wingback, that trip, and he was stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Ted Wolf, Steinbach, Henniges, and Wiltz up front for Central. Linebackers Brock, Kelly, and Flynn. In the secondary, Parker, Provost, Bardwell, and Finnegan.
Art, in these type of ball games, it just takes a while for things to settle down. You know, that's not unlikely to have a big play early. You know, Central needs to come back and just play their type of defense.
Henniges at defensive left tackle. Ryan Hobart at defensive right tackle. We didn't list Ryan in the defensive starting lineup, but he's in there right now. The reason is Central's in a 5-man front. Ball to the 35-yard line. Tomsey gives off this time to Cruz. Cruz finds the hole, 30, 25-yard line. Fights his way forward to the 24. Tom Bardwell made the tackle. Going to see it from the ground level here, Norm, and Cruz looks like he's for real. 200-pounder.
Well, it's the same type of play. This time they run out of a different formation. Instead of using motion, they just give it to the back coming off tackle again and get some key blocks on that right side.
Great block by Joe Whiten, the left guard, number 74. This destroyed the defender. First down for The Chargers from Aurora Central Catholic at the 24-yard line. Initial drive of the football game. Here is the give to Curry, the fullback, and he hammers inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Sproul made the hit. In there to help him was Ted Wolf. That was Todd Sproul.
Art, he's a big back, and that's just a lead play with Curry carrying the ball, and he's going to be a ton to bring down today.
And a coach's kid who's been around this game a while, 6'2", 225, just a junior. Jot him down your little notebook there, Norm.
I've already written his name down,
I
Art.
bet you have. Ball's at the 18-yard line, 2nd down and 4, needed for the Chargers. Tom C. gives the ball to Cruz, and Cruz battles forward to about the 15. Well, the Central Catholic defense getting a major test right off the bat here. Kiley was in on the stop for the Saints, along with Wolf and Hobart. And also over there was Leo Flynn, the outside backer. 3rd down, about a yard needed for an Aurora Central Catholic first down. Kneeling out on the edge of the playing field across the way is Mike Curry. Had great success at Freeport Aquin. This is his best run with Aurora Central Catholic. Under center, Tom C. Tom C. wheels it back, gives to the fullback Curry. Cut down, but he got the first down at about the 12-yard line. Curry just kind of leaned in there. Hobart slowed him up, had some help, but the big guy at 6'2" and 225, pretty tough to hold him to a yard, Norm.
Well, you know, we looked at the averages of size and weight versus the two teams, and Aurora does have that size advantage, and in a short yard situation, that pays off.
Offensive line averages 216, working on a Central Catholic defensive line at 215, so they're almost a standoff there. But the offensive line has momentum going for them. Ball's at the 12-yard line. Another first down situation. They give the ball to Cruz. Cruz at the 10 is stopped at the 10-yard line. Good defensive job by the Saints that time. That's the shortest gainer that the Chargers have had this afternoon. Gang tackle. Chris Kiley led the way. And right behind Kiley was Ted Wolf.
Kiley also went on the play for the Saints, number 66, Ted Wolf.
I don't think we're going to see Coach Curry put the thing up down here. A lot of coaches would think, well, I might throw in this situation. I don't believe so.
They're going to go with what got him here, Art, and that's running the football. So
2nd down and 8. Not really a wing tee set. Single back handoff to Cruz, and Cruz inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. The tackle again made by Chris Kiley. So it'll bring up a 3rd down. This is the biggest call probably for Aurora Central Catholic in this drive. They're faced with a 3rd down, and let's call it 6 at the 7-yard line. Just inside the 8 and edge toward the 7.
6 now coming up for Aurora Central Catholic.
Really haven't seen the wing tee set yet, Norm. We did early, first play or two.
He's mixing up a little bit with some different formations, but they run the same plays that they normally do out of wing tee.
They give it to Cruz. Cruz got a block on the corner from Curry. Knocked out of bounds shy of the first down at the 5-yard line. Nice defensive job by Tom Bardwell. Bardwell and Corey Parker came up to seal it off for the Saints. They're going to mark the ball at the 5. Aurora Central Catholic is going to take a timeout right here with about 3 yards needed for a first down. Going to see it again.
Tom Bardwell does a great job, Art, coming up and filling the alley there from his safety position. I know I've seen him play 3 times this year, and I've been impressed with his athletic ability, and he showed it right there.
Bardwell is certainly a collegiate prospect, isn't he?
Oh, I definitely think so. I mean, he's an athlete, and when you go out and recruit football players, you recruit athletes.
There he is, number 17. He can play either side of the ball for you, I would think.
Well, he can play football, and then if you need him on a golf tournament on the weekends, he could go with you too. So.
Yeah, he's pretty handy to have around. Yeah, he's a fine golfer. He sold his golf clubs, but as soon as
I'd buy him some if he went with me on a tournament.
Yeah. Well, let's see what do you anticipate here, Norm? 4th down 3 for the Chargers.
Well, they've been running the ball so well, Art. You might see some type of play action, get the quarterback out in the corner, and give him a pass run type of option.
Mark Tomsey has not run the ball as yet in this particular series. As a passer, he's 62 of 126 for 903 yards and 9 scores. All right, they come out. They need 3 or 4 yards. And whistle stop play, flags all over the place.
Well, they just had a power formation, Art, and they were just going to run right at Bloomington Central Catholic, and we have a penalty here.
Gave the ball to Cruz, and the walk-off is going to be against Aurora Central Catholic. That's a big penalty here. Takes the ball back to the 10. And so instead of having a 4th and about 3, they now have a 4th and 9.
Well, we'll see if they have a kicker, Art. This would be a good situation, get some points on the board, but looks like they're going to go for it.
Well, Tomsey's their kicker, and obviously they're not going to employ him here.
Look for some play action here on this 4th down, Art.
Ball's at the 10-yard line after the procedure penalty. Rolling left side, Tomsey is going to throw. He sets up, he fires, overthrows, incomplete. About a yard deep in the end zone, the pass was overthrown, intended for the tight end Chad Peterson, and Central Catholic has dodged not only a bullet, but a howitzer shell.
They went with the play action, like I said, Art, and they just flooded that area. They really had the man open, and the quarterback just overthrew him a little bit.
That indeed, that play selection may tell us something about their kicking game, Norm, as you point out. I think I'm like you, I would have gotten the 3. But if you don't have a real reliable kicker.
Well, the momentum shifts now back to Central Catholic, I think, if they can get the ball out of here and get a couple first downs.
Well, a tremendous defensive effort. Of course, that 5-yard procedure penalty helped them, too. But the Saints they bent, but they didn't break, most certainly. From their own 10-yard line, Bardwell gives the ball to Chris Kiley. Not much room there, got a yard. Kiley stacked up. Primary hit, the linebacker, Pat Langen. Bardwell, Parker, Kiley, Provost, Finnegan, and Sproul. Wolf, Flynn, Steinbach, Henniges, and Hobart. Been a pretty tough combination for the Saints through a brilliant 11-1 season. Co-Corn Belt Conference champions. Second down, let's call it 9 from the 11-yard line. No score, just underway. 6:45 mark in the game's first quarter here at Hancock Stadium. Ideal football afternoon. Bardwell fires the pass off to Finnegan. Finnegan hit at the 12, comes up to the 14-yard line. Again, Langen over to make the tackle. Peterson, Gonzalez, Kunkel, and Resch up front. Nelson, Curry, and Langen. Your linebacker core, the secondary, Nelson, Pacharich, Platt, and Andy Bohr. They may have one of the best linebacking tandems in 3A football. 2 of those 3 kids are potential, certainly all-conference players. They already are that. Langen and Curry, 2 outstanding kids. Bardwell on 3rd and deep. Looks down over the middle. The ball was deflected. I think he tried to throw it.
Looks like the ball was tipped a little bit there, Art.
Either tipped or the arm was deflected. At any rate, it was a good pass rush. And bulling through there looked like Mario Benavides. Benavides came in and deflected the ball. That's not the right number. Let's see who got in there. Somebody must have deflected it. It didn't look like anybody hit his arm. At any rate, big punt here, Norm.
Well, we got to secure this snap back to the punter, of course, get this ball off, and that's the most important thing.
3 downs, the Saints move 4 yards. Short kick by Jason Sproul comes upfield. The Aurora Central staff yelling to get away from it. And the ball will go over on just about the 36-yard line to Aurora Central Catholic. They continue to keep the heat on here in the first period of this one at Hancock Stadium.
I think you saw Bobby come out, Art, and test Aurora's defense with some formations. They went to a trip set the second down. They went to a spread set the first down to see how they were going to play them. I think you'll see him come back now the second series, and I think he's going to know a little bit more how Aurora's going to play their offense.
Yeah, it's tough at this stage in the playoffs when you're playing somebody you really don't know much about. All you can do is take, and here's a full house team backfield. Speaking of sets, shades of Woody Hayes. The ball at the 36-yard line, and the give to Curry. Curry breaks it 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Knocked down on just about the 5-yard line. They thought they had him down. They thought they had Joe Curry down, and suddenly he accelerated and almost broke it for the score. He's at the 5-yard line. Make it the 6.
Just second back through again. And I just think the Bloomington Central kids just lost the football for a second and broke a tackle, Art.
And it was Bardwell that caught him from behind and tripped him up. So now it's a 1st and goal. The Chargers knocking at the door.
It's 1st and goal now.
Mike Curry's little boy Joe, this busted one from the 36-yard line to the 5.
Officials timeout on the play.
About a 31-yard run. He can run pretty good for a 225-pounder, can't he?
Well, Bloomington Central Catholic is going to have to make sure they secure that tackle today, Art.
Got to wrap him, no doubt about it. Here's Curry again, and Joe hammers for, about 4. He's down to the 1-yard line. Talk about a guy with great leg drive, and finally making the stop for the Saints was Ted Wolf.
Well, as a football coach, you like to see that type of runner, Art. You know, he's got his shoulders down, his knees up, and he's just pushing the pile right there, and he's going to get positive yards every time he does that. Got
a huge block on the line of scrimmage from Marquel Rodgers, number 72. Marquel Rodgers working at left guard, or left tackle, actually. Here are the Chargers. Cruz hammers in for the touchdown. Steve Cruz for the score with 4:49 to go in the first quarter. A 36-yard march.
Just a little isolation play. They give the second back through the tailback. They did go to the I formation, Art. That's the first time we've seen that today. And he's going to give it right behind that big blocking back. And the people up front are getting a good push. They're down low, and he gets the ball across the end zone.
36-yard scoring drive after a relatively short St. punt. On to attempt the extra point is quarterback Mark Tomsey. Ball is placed. Tomsey's kick is on the way. It's good. I don't see anything wrong with that kid's kicking ability. Ron Urbalis was the holder. The kick is good. We have a timeout at Hancock Stadium. Aurora Central Catholic is drawing first blood. They lead the Saints 7-0.
It's Benson's double truckload sale. Now you'll save on all Maytag appliances. Maytag heavy-duty washers and big load dryers. Jet clean dishwashers plus gas or electric rangers. Double the selection, double the savings. Now at Benson's double truckload sale. Benson's, Peoria, Pekin, Bloomington, and Champaign. We're pleasing you. Pleases us.
As you can see right now, the stands are empty, but believe me, when Telecable shows up to do a ball game, these stands fill up, and we'll have all kinds of action-packed football for you, as well as volleyball this fall on Telecable. Hi, I'm Art Kimball. I'm the play-by-play voice of Telecable. We'll see what's on tap this week. So far, Normesh, Aurora Central Catholic has 104 yards via rushing. The touchdown maker, Steve Cruz, 6 carries for 60 yards. That was a 36-yard march in 3 plays. Took them 1 minute and 6 seconds. So I think the Saints know already. They got their hands full.
Well, Aurora came out and they established a run. And the big thing is, Art, is they didn't try for that field goal on that fourth down.
And it looked like they could kick it.
So he's serious about running the football.
Yeager brings the ball back upfield for the Saints, and they have decent field position out at about their own 38-yard line. Andy Yeager took the kickoff.
Great effort there, Art. He hurdled the pile and got an extra 5-6 yards there.
Central Catholic has had all kinds of adventures this year and coming from behind, so that's nothing particularly unusual for them. Also, they have had experience with a lead, a blown lead against Spring Valley Hall last week. They got up 14-0. And watched the Hall Red Devils rally to tie it at 14, then came back to win the football game. So obviously we're in for what we should have at this level, a fine 3A semifinal matchup. Bardwell pitches to Corey Parker. Corey tries to turn the corner, has to bow it out a little bit as Langen's after him, and he stopped at the 38-yard line. Not much of a gain on the play. Pat Langen, the outside linebacker, is 6', he's a 200-pound senior. As there you see the graphic on the drive.
Well, Central Catholic went to another trips formation, and really Aurora's not covering that trips formation out there, and I look to see Bobby to exploit that a little bit by throwing the ball. I think that curl and flat area is open. I think the perimeter runs there too. We need to stay on the blocks out there.
Corey Parker's not 100% either. He's playing with a bruised shoulder, and of course when you have a running back who's dinged a little bit, it hurts you, no question about that. Here's Tom Bardwell over the middle, fires the pass, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 43-yard line by Andy Bohr. Bohr at midfield of the 45 and knocked out of bounds at about the 42. Ball was just plain overthrown, and Andy Bohr comes up with the interception. Well, a great defensive job by Aurora Central Catholic there.
Well, Bardwell does a nice job standing in the pocket right there. I just think the ball gets away from him a little bit and sails on him and just overthrew it a little bit.
Ball is spotted at the 42-yard line, and Bohr, 5'11", 165-pound senior, brings it back. Aurora Central Catholic shared the private league championship with Melrose Park Walter Lutheran. They lead here 7-0. They give it off to Cruz. Cruz is hit behind the line of scrimmage by Andy Provost, or Deacon Provost, I should say, and hauled out.
Well, that's that same power off tackle play, Art, and looks like Central's starting to get a good feel for it right now because they're getting some penetration on it.
Like all teams that advance this far in postseason competition, Aurora Central Catholic a very solid defensive club, and so are the Saints. That's one thing you just have to have. The Chargers have given up an average of just 8.7 points per game overall on the season, while scoring 30.3 on the average themselves. Second down, let's still call it 10 from the 42-yard line. Flag stopping play.
Looks like they're going to go to a play action there, Art, on a 2nd and long. So
delay a game wrap is the call here against the Chargers.
that's the first time we saw a spread formation a little bit. They went with a flanker and a split, Art. So
well, he's got everything in his arsenal, doesn't he?
well, it's amazing that these running teams, they get in a 2nd, 3rd and long, and they do go to a spread formation.
Yeah, well, the idea is to string you across the field a little bit if they can, but you know, we've seen a little full house tee, we've seen some wing tee, we've seen some pro set. We got the split backs now with a split receiver wide left and a wing back to the right side. And the wing back is Cruz and Curry, I should say. They give it to him. He's cut down. A nice tackle by Finnegan at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, it's just they run the counter with the wing coming back underneath, Art, and Finnegan does come up and make a big play for him, because if he doesn't make that play, then he's got some room to run the football.
Guy with an error in the ball carrier there too, Norm. It was Namesh, the wingback, number 25, that carried the football. Didn't think he was quite as big as Joe Curry. 3rd down and 10. The 5-yard penalty has helped the Saints in this series. Big defensive play needed here. Mark Thompson at quarterback. He sends Cruz in motion. Little play action fake, fires the pass. Got a receiver in Peterson, and he dropped at the 23-yard line. Chad Peterson, the tight end, 6'2", 180-pound senior, as Thompson clicks all the way to the 24 is where they're going to mark it. 1st down for the Chargers.
We have an outstanding fake here by Tomsey. It's just they run the same play action off the counter there, and the tight end comes open, wide open on a corner route. Art.
They're a pretty impressive football team so far. 2:11 to go in the 1st quarter.
I think execution's the key. They're well coached.
Full house, straight T backfield. Knocking at the door once again, 24 yards away. They give to Namesh. Namesh, the wingback that time, lined up as a right halfback, if you will, in the old straight full house T backfield. Didn't get much.
Boy, Aurora was lucky there, Art. They had a little mix-up on the handoff. I think he was going to the 2nd back through, and the 1st back took it away from him. So.
Namesh took it right out of his hands. Derek Steinbach checks in defensively for Central Catholic as Ted Wolf comes out. So for the Saints, you got Leo Flynn out there, number 55 defensively. Steinbach. Ryan Hobart in a defensive tackle position. Andy Henniges in a defensive tackle slot. Defensive left end is Todd Sproul. 2nd down. Let's call it still 10 for all intents and purposes. And again, flags all over the place. And again, we're going to have a penalty walked off against the Chargers. They've been nailed for 3 or 4 here in the early going.
Seems like they get in that 2nd and 3rd and long situation, Art. They go to a wing slot, and they like to run motion with that slot back and run some play action off of it.
They've taken their best wing back, Namesh, out of the ball game right now. The ball is spotted at the 28-yard line after the 5-yard penalty. It'll be a 2nd down, 15. But the Chargers do have the ball fairly deep in Central Catholic territory at the 28. Thompson at quarterback, reaches in, gets the snap, rolling back to throw. Pretty good rush. Hobart is after him, and he is nailed back on the 32-yard line. The heat from Hobart turned the quarterback right into Leo Flynn, who made the tackle at the 31-yard line. So it's a 3rd down. That was a loss of about 3. Let's call it 3rd and 17 or 18 needed for the 1st down now.
Well, that was great coverage by the Saints secondary, and we got penetration up front, and the big thing was we contained Tumsey when he got out there on the boot.
Pretty good pass rush, actually pretty good pursuit from Ryan Hobart, who's a big guy, of course, at defensive tackle. Ryan, number 72, came flying in there. He's 6'5", 205. The 3rd down situation. Let's call it 3rd and 17 to keep it even. As Tumsey back to throw. He looks, he fires the pass. Nice reception, made it to 25, and the receiver drilled out of bounds by Finnegan at the 23-yard line. And making the catch was Bob Platt. He's a 5'10", 170-pound junior on a well-thrown football, no doubt about that.
Well, that's a nice job by Central Catholic, knowing what the down and distance was. You know, they weren't going to give anything deep for the 1st down, but they let them have that underneath stuff, and that wasn't going to help them at all, because now they still have a 4th and 9.
There's Thompson on the roll.
Throws the flat there, Art, and that's not going to be enough, and they had it covered pretty well.
Ever have a left-handed quarterback, Norm?
I've had 1 or 2. They seem to be a little bit different to coach, but as long as they can throw that ball and it spirals, that's all that matters.
Timeout was taken, I believe, by Aurora Central in this situation. Yeah, they're down to 1 timeout in the 1st half. I was going to say, does that change your offensive alignments any?
Oh, I think it does. I mean, of course, a lot of people think that you can throw better going to or sprinting to the side that you can throw with. You know, if you're going to be a right-handed quarterback, you sprint right. If you're left, you sprint left. But in this case, this Tumsey looks like he's a pretty good athlete, and he can do a lot of things.
Yeah, he really can, and we were wondering whether they're going to throw it very much, but obviously they have pretty good play-action patterns. Looks like his receivers have impressed me. Nice catch down here made by Platt a moment ago, and Peterson made a great catch, which got him down in this position on the playing field.
Well, it's not a complex passing system, that's for sure, but they do execute it, and that's what makes a difference for them.
I think it's the old story, as you see in any kind of football game right now. The Chargers are winning the battle in the trenches. They're protecting pretty well. And their offensive line on a couple of running plays in particular really been impressive, as Marquel Rodgers and Joel Whiten in particular have come up with some key blocks. Okay, 4th and 9 from the 23-yard line of Central Catholic.
Straight drop back, Art.
Tumsey looking. He's looking. He's got Platt out there. It's complete, and Platt is knocked out of bounds inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. 1st and goal. He beat Corey Parker. Corey was rolling with him, but Platt got outside of Parker, made the reception at the 9-yard line, edged toward the 8, and it's a 1st and goal for Aurora Central.
Tumsey's a big, strong quarterback, 6'2", 200. He sets in there, does a nice job of looking him off, and they just run that out and get the 1st down.
Well, you talk about big 3rd down conversion, huh?
Big play.
This will be the last play of the 3rd quarter, or 1st quarter, I should say. Not the 3rd quarter yet, thank goodness. Ball's at the 8, and they give it to Joe Curry, and he hammers to the 5, and then spins down to about the 3. They're going to mock the ball at the 5-yard line. That's it at the end of 1 quarter. When we start the 2nd period, Aurora Central will have the ball on the Central Catholic 5 and driving in a 2nd down situation. At the quarter, the Chargers 7, the Saints nothing.
Saturday night, get the most out of your TV with 3 channels of HBO. It's a comedy premiere on HBO. Angelica Houston, Raul Julia, Adam's Family Values. There's a family movie on HBO, too, The Never-Ending Story 2, The Next Chapter. Or choose action on HBO 3, Jean-Claude Van Damme's Double Impact. 3 great choices, 3 different channels, 3 good reasons to watch Saturday night on HBO, the best choice on TV.
Tired of all the hot air and hype surrounding hearing aids? Then you need to talk to the professionals at the Cade Hearing Aid and Audiology Center. Cade's trained specialists will give you a free comprehensive evaluation using the latest diagnostic equipment. If a hearing aid is necessary, Cade's can save you hundreds of dollars on quality name brands. So put an end to all the hot air. With over 15 years experience, you can trust the staff at the Cade Hearing Aid and Audiology Center, 606 West Market, Bloomington.
Okay, the ball is resting at the 5-yard line, and this got a partial score on the DuQuoin-Carlinville game, 26-0. DuQuoin leading in that one, so it looks like the Indians of Al Martin will be taking on the winner of this one for the 3A championship, at least the way that game is going right now. That's a big, big margin in a semifinal matchup in the football playoffs. Well, here things have not gone well for Central Catholic, and the fear that Bobby Mays had, I think, is probably coming back to haunt him, as he thought quite possibly could. Ball control has been the stock in trade for the Chargers. Central hasn't had the ball much, Norm.
No, they really haven't. You know, you look at the 1st quarter, Art, and a couple things jump out at you. Number 1 is field position. Central Catholic has had poor field position. Aurora's had great field position.
Here's a stat to back up what you're saying. Central Catholic, 2 yards in the 1st quarter on 2 rushes. And Aurora rushing 17 carries for 111 yards. Aurora's passing 3 of 4 for 41 yards. Central Catholic 1 of 3 with 1 interception for 3 yards. So that's exactly what you're talking about. 1st down at the 5, or 2nd down at the 5-yard line.
Back in the I formation again, Art. Look for that isolation.
Cruz the tailback, Curry the upback. They give it to Cruz. Cruz nice down to about the 2.
They're just going behind those big people up front, Art, and leading with Curry, who has size, and give it to Cruz, who's a nice little back.
Nate Kunkel led the way, 6'4", 225-pound senior, helped out by the tight end, Chad Peterson. They got a double-team block on the line of scrimmage, and Cruz just rode off of it. They marked the ball at the 2.
This is where Central's got to get their pads down and win the leverage game.
Yeah.
They have to get low and get some penetration here into that backfield.
being shoved around a little bit by this attacking offensive line for Aurora Central Catholic. They're 2 yards away. Cruz finds the hole, dives into the end zone, I think. Let's wait and see.
Looks like the ball's loose. Let's see if they call it a
Central
fumble.
claims there was a fumble. The officials don't say so, but they also don't say it's a touchdown. It looked like Cruz was just about in, but they're going to mark the ball around the 1 yard line, actually inside the 1. We'll call it the 1 to keep it even, but it's a 4th down play. Saints need a big, big play here. Ball, let's call it the 1 yard line. 4th down. Tomsey, the quarterback.
That's the break they needed, Art, right there.
Big left tackle. Marquel Rodgers jumps offside.
Big break for Central. Big break.
So it makes it a 4th down. Yeah, it really is. 4th and 6 needed. And there's Marquel, a big number 72.
He was just a little anxious getting off the bar, you know, and he jumped off sides, and right now that's what Central wanted. They wanted to put him back in a 4th and 5.
He's been timbering some people as the Saints call a timeout here to do a little readjusting. Or Aurora, yeah, Central took the timeout, I believe. Nope, it wasn't Aurora Central Catholic timeout. They have none left for the half. Marquel Rodgers, the kid that jumped offside, is 6'3", 258-pound sophomore, Norm.
Sophomore, yeah. It's unbelievable to see a high school kid that big.
He was one of the key drive blockers on that first scoring drive that the Aurorans came up with. Well, Central now has to defend more playing field, though, Coach.
Still, I think you're going to see Aurora come out with some type of play action. They did it last time they were down here. You know, it's interesting, again, here's a situation. You can put points on the board, and they're not going to go with the field goal. And I watched Tomsey kick, and he did a pretty good job on the extra point. So it'd be an easy chip shot for him, but they must have that much confidence in their running game.
They really must, and or he doesn't have that much confidence in his defense. You know, Mike May figures he needs X number of points to beat Central Catholic, and may also play the percentage. You coaches once in a while do. Is you're only going to get so many opportunities in a ball game.
Well, he knows that Central's is a catch-up type of football team with their passing game.
Okay, it's a 4th down. They actually have marked the ball at the 5. 4th down, no first down possibility. 5 yards needed for the score. Mark Tomsey at quarterback. Deuce set in the backfield with Curry and Cruz. They have a slot back to the right side. Here's Tomsey, rolls it left and ducks into the end zone for the touchdown. Nice job by the quarterback, Mark Tomsey.
Well, Art, the hardest thing to defend on the goal line is option. And I think they gave it to their main man, and that's Tomsey. You know, they wanted him to make something happen. I think that's what you do with option on the goal line. He's just going to come down with option to his left, and he's going to look for a seam here. I don't know if it's a read or not. I think he's looking for a seam. Just turn it up and get it across.
Got the job done. A lot of people followed Curry, the fullback.
Well, they had the pitch man covered pretty well, Central Catholic did, and Tomsey saw that seam and turned it up.
Well, Tomsey converts. It's letter perfect as Mark Tomsey, the star of that particular series. Timeout on the field. Aurora Central Catholic has jumped on top in this one, 14-0.
Central Catholic thinks nothing.
The paper comes home on pay-per-view.
They made a bust in the Williamsburg shooting.
I got something for you.
This is so good. I'm running this tonight.
You don't have it, you know it.
Run what we've got.
What if these aren't the guys? What if they're innocent?
We only have to be right for a day.
This bust is totally cosmetic.
You want to run the story? Go get the story.
Where is this place?
The paper.
They got to get it.
On pay-per-view.
I got it!
Get Ron Howard's The Paper delivered home on pay-per-view.
We will work hard to throw it up on the court this season. And we ask that you throw it up in the stands.
Reserve your seat today. For more information, call the Redbird Ticket Office at 438-8000.
Well, there you see the fact that autumn is very definitely with us, and I'm afraid blending toward winter rather rapidly. 42-yard drive in 11 plays for the score for the Chargers. Took them 4 minutes and 52 seconds, but they got the job done.
Number 16 for the Chargers, Mark Thompson.
The thing that Central has to do right now, Art, is get some confidence with their offense. They need to get some first downs. They want to establish themselves. They want to keep the ball away from Aurora's offense, and I think you're going to come out and see Bobby not panic and throw the ball up every down, but I think he's going to mix it up a little bit and get those first downs.
This was just the reverse of the situation he had against Hollow Spring Valley last week when he was up 14-0. Had to stave off a comeback. Now he's going to have to stage a comeback himself. Corey Parker fields the ball on the 12. Here's Corey. Outside and knocked out of bounds at the 29-yard line, maybe the 30. So the Saints at least have respectable field position at the 30-yard line. Need to get the offense going. It has sputtered thus far. There you see the drive. As we told you in the first quarter, Central was outrushed 111-2, went out past 41-3. Total offense 152 in the first quarter to 5 for Central Catholic, the edge to the Chargers. So that's exactly the situation you don't want to have to live with.
Comes back with the trips formation to the right, Art.
Bardwell at quarterback. Steinbach will snap the ball to him. He does so. They give the ball to Corey Parker, hit behind the line of scrimmage and lost 2 or 3 on the play.
Little counter play that Aurora had some penetration on and no place to go.
First guy through, looked like it might have been Peterson, the defensive end for the Chargers, who came pinching in, big number 80. I tell you, Corey Parker is not 100%. He's playing with a pretty heavily bruised shoulder. And Corey, at least thus far, hasn't really run with the zip we've seen him run with most of the season. Now, that may be the Aurora Central Catholic defense as well. One setback, Chris Kiley. Double slot to the right side as Bardwell rolls. Decent protection for a while. Hit, throws the ball, intercepted. Picked off by Joe Curry. As he threw the ball, just as he was hit, the pass came up way, way short, and Joe Curry, the middle linebacker, with the pass interception at the 33-yard line. Wow.
I just think Tom was a little unsure who he wanted to go to right there and took a step up, and by the time he took a step up, there was some penetration there. They're getting a good rush up front, and as he released the ball, he was hit, and the ball went right into Curry's hands.
Not getting much protection. And again, we see the ball-controlling Chargers from Aurora Central Catholic with the ball at the 33-yard line in a first down situation. Cruz and Curry, the backs. Here's Tomsey. The lefty fires, intercepted. Picked off by Bardwell at the 40, 45, midfield.
Tomsey has an angle. Good cut by Tom.
Bardwell at the
Nice
25,
job.
still going at the 20, all the way down to the 13-yard line, make it the 12. The biggest play of the afternoon for the Saints is Tom Bardwell, who came up with 2 or 3 big plays in the quarterfinals against Spring Valley Hall last week. Picks off a pass, returns it all the way to the Charger 12. Look at it again, Norm.
Well, when you get in ball games like this, you got to make big plays, and boy, he did a nice job of stepping in front of the ball, and then he makes an outstanding move right here, back to the inside. Tomsey had the angle on him, does a nice job right there evading 62 and gets some great field position. Now let's put the ball in the end zone, Art.
Okay, he got around Langen, their premier linebacker. 62-yard return with the pass interception. Jim Bowers keeping stats for us this afternoon. We certainly appreciate having Jim with our crew. Here's Bardwell, quick pitch to Parker. Parker at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown, Central Catholic. It comes from 12 yards out as Corey Parker races into the end zone off the option play.
Great call by Coach Mays. He went with motion out of the trips back to the tight end side, ran a little speed option. Bardwell came right out there, read the end man. The end man took the quarterback, pitched to Parker, and it was clear sailing. Had some great blocks down there. I think Kiley got a key block down here.
Yep, he did. And a little block on the almost the goal line by Dave Wiltz. Maybe a little bit closer to the 5 than the goal line, but that was a key as well. Jason Sproul on to convert. Very important extra point. It's a 14-6 ball game. Out of the hold of Finnegan. The kick is on the way, and it is good. So Jason Sproul converts. And things have brightened a little bit in the Central Catholic camp. The Bloomington variety, 9:05 to go in the half. It's Aurora Central Catholic 14, Bloomington Central Catholic 7.
Direct Factory is scaring the price off the competition. Why? Because our prices are so low and our quality is so high. Benchcraft lifetime warranty sofa and love seat only $6.98. Billy Hot Shaker green and cherry bedroom set $798. Brass and glass coffee and 2 end tables only $129. This is our 10th year in business. Come in and see why at Direct Factory Outlet, 1209 Torrent Avenue, Bloomington.
Telecable's Videoplex brings you such a variety of entertainment, it's almost spooky.
This Saturday, their house is a museum, and you should come and see them in Adam's Family Values.
Or, no beans about it, you'll laugh yourself silly with the always outrageous Mr. Bean.
Or plunge into some real grunge with this hilarious take on Seattle-style romance in Singles.
Make a date with Telecable's Videoplex and have the time of your life.
Expand your options. Get Videoplex from Telecable.
Well, this is that speed option I was talking about. You're going to see motion come through from the slot back. He's going to get out there and block the corner. Like I said, Tom Barwell comes down line of scrimmage, reads the end right there, pitches to Parker, and he had great blocks downfield.
You know, Barwell only made 2 or 3 steps of the option, though, Norm. You can read the defensive end that quickly,
Oh,
I guess,
yeah.
huh?
On speed option, you want that end to take you. The whole object of speed option is get the ball outside quickly, and that's exactly what happened there with the defensive end taking Barwell.
And with a flyer like Parker, that makes it ever so much easier. Well, we got a football game again. The Saints were lethargic, to say the least, but a little fire in the old Central Catholic furnace right now.
Football is a game of momentum, Art, and it looks like Central has it back. Now they have to play some defense.
Short kickoff. Joe Curry has it. He's hammered to the turf at the 32-yard line. I see our...
Looks like the ball came loose there, but it looks like Aurora recovered it.
I see our regular broadcasting colleague, Steve Mays, who, of course, is an assistant coach these days with his brother Bobby. And, he was talking to Tom Bardwell on the sideline. Of course, Steve works with the quarterbacks at Central Catholic, has all season long, a former QB in high school and here at Illinois State himself. There you see Steve down on the sideline. He even gave him a sweatshirt for the affair. Well, doing a good job. He's much happier now than he was a couple of minutes ago. I guarantee you that. 32-yard line. Chargers with it. Cruz cuts, bangs away to the 35, up to the 40, up to the 44. Tough back.
Power off tackle, pulled those linemen again up through that hole, and Cruz has got great balance, Art. He's tough to bring down.
He's a tough back, but finally took a pretty good hit by Pat Finnegan to stop him. It's a first down for Aurora Central as they move the ball out to the 44-yard line.
They run that power off tackle back to the wing side. They're just down blocking, kicking out, and turn the tackle up on through, and missed the tackle there on him, but a lot of that's because of Cruz's ability to keep his feet.
Line play, offensive line play for the Chargers has been outstanding this afternoon. Ball's at the 44, first down. ACC in possession of the football, fumble, and picked up off the turf, and Cruz has it. I think it was a fumble.
Well, it looks like the ball was loose and it was hanging on his hip, and
he didn't
was
quite
able to
lose
hang
it,
on.
did he?
No, he's able to hang on to it. That was the break that we needed with Central Catholic.
Thompson, I think, thought it was a fumble. I was watching the quarterback, and he's ready to dive in there. Let's watch it. Yeah, there you see it. Everybody's looking for it, but yeah, Cruz never did lose possession.
It's right there in his hip, Art.
That's just the way you coaches tell him to grip the football.
That's why coaches have gray hair when you see that ball hanging like that.
Grab that ball down and carry it on your hip. 7:48 for the half. Second down and 8 at the 46-yard line. Cruz carries and is gunned down by Kevin Brott. Brott came up to make the stop at the 48.
Just a quick dive, first back.
Yep. Well, this is the kind of offense you'll see from a lot of good high school teams, a lot of good college teams for that matter. Good ball control. The key, though, you got to move the sticks, Norm. You can't afford too many third and longs, although they've been tough on that today.
The key with this offense is execution. That you don't do a lot of things, but you do them well.
Virtually, you're running 2 tight ends, 2 setbacks. Split receiver, right side. Cruz bounces outside to the 48-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down. Good defensive effort by the Saints, who reacted. At first, it looked like a shade slowly, but really it wasn't.
Well,
Todd Sproul made the tackle.
The Saints came off blocks real well there, and that's what you want from your defense. Just a handoff off tackle. Hobart gets a hand on it right there, and then Sproul does a nice job to clean up.
Well, they're going for it at the 48-yard line. Fourth down, a long yard needed for the first down for the Chargers. Thompson.
Power off tackle. Nice penetration.
Cruz is nailed. I don't know if he got it or not.
I don't think he got it.
He was stopped. A good defensive job by the Saints. In to make the tackle was Bardwell. And that is John Bardwell, the freshman, a 200-pounder. John came up and gets the glad hand on the sideline, as well he should.
I think you got to give credit to Mike Mazer. I think he knew exactly what they're going to run, that power off tackle, pulling those 2 linemen, and he had a lot of penetration. It looks like they slanted and angled into the gaps there, and the penetration was the key.
Well, Central Catholic stopped them. Well, that's a big gamble on fourth down. I'm a little more of a coaching conservative than that, I think.
I would have punted the ball at this
point. I got a 4th and 1 near midfield, and I'm up 7. on the road, so to speak. I don't know.
Got to play the field position.
Here's Bardwell. Bardwell looking, fires the pass. He got a completion. Yep, they say it's a trap at the 49-yard line for Chris Kiley. Pretty good coverage by, let's see, that wasn't Cruz out there. It was Andy Bohr, number 20, and also John Nelson, the outside backer, moved over.
Little play action, ran the tight end on a corner and the back out in the flat. Really, the back was open. It was just a low ball, tough one to hang on.
This is our last football telecast of the season, and we thank all you viewers for sticking with us. It's been an exciting campaign. Who would have thought we would have 3 playoff teams? As it turned out in the postseason, Norm Esch's team shares the CCIW championship in an exciting season. ISU with a good campaign. Deacon Provost wide open.
Nice
Provost at the 10 for the touchdown. Nice pass thrown by Bardwell. The play covers 52 yards.
Well, Art, it all starts with protection, and boy, Tom had a lot of time to throw that football and allowed that back to clear that secondary defensive back down there. There's a trips formation left, split right, spread out the field, just ran some verticals, cleared that corner, and there he is right there. Makes another great cut back inside.
I think one of the keys to the Central Catholic team is the return to health of Deacon Provost. When he came back to this ball club and got healthy after being slow in the early going, it gave them another dimension on both sides of the ball. And now Jason Sproul, the sophomore, will try to tie it up in another, just an exciting Central Catholic football game.
Well, we've had some big plays in this ball game, Art, and that's what you got to have when you get down to this type of ball game.
Jason Sproul kicks it through with complete ease. Just a sophomore. Central Catholic is kind of the high school of place kickers, isn't it? They always seem to have one. We got a 14-14 football game. Who would have thunk it a couple of moments ago, huh? We'll be back in just a moment.
Dial 0 if you need a mortgage balance. Dial 4 if you want a document. Dial 1-800.
Do you ever get frustrated trying to get answers from a machine? I'm John Petard, president of First Federal Savings of Bloomington. If you have a question about any of our services or your accounts with us, you talk to a real person who is right here in your community. Service to you is a tradition at First Federal Savings of Bloomington, corner of Fairway Drive and Empire.
If you had 3 channels of HBO, you'd have a night like this. Catch a comedy premiere on HBO. Robin Williams is Mrs. Doubtfire. It's drama on HBO 2. Sean Astin, Charles S. Dutton, Rudy. Or there's adventure on HBO 3. Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. 3 great choices, 3 different channels. 3 good reasons to watch HBO, the best choice on TV.
Two plays, 52 yards, 33 seconds on the drive for the Saints. Saints and Chargers. A pair of parochial schools doing battle here in a game that I don't know who's got the shamrock. We're going to find out, aren't we?
Well, Art, now going to that 4th down play looks big right now, doesn't it?
Oh, man, doesn't look big. Rolls kickoff. He kind of squibs the ball. Fielded down here, returned upfield by Brian Rosansky, and he is hammered to the turf at the 35-yard line.
That kick might be by design, Art. You know, anytime you get a score to tie the ball game up, the worst thing to happen is a change of momentum and a kickoff return. So I think they're putting it on the ground and just kicking it hard so they can get some coverage down there.
Yeah, you don't want one big play to be returned by another. Here's the TD play, Norm.
Great protection. Notice there's no pressure. Right there, he's clearing that corner. Makes a great cut back inside.
Of course, the big difference, too, is the Central Catholic offensive line suddenly is starting to protect Bardwell.
I think that Aurora has trouble when they spread the field.
Everybody else has with the Central club. 5:30 left to go first half. There is the handoff to the wingback. That's typical wing T football. The ball carrier was Ben Namesh on the counter. Got very little. Andy Hennigas with the stop.
Well, you can tell momentum has shifted now, Art. The Central Catholic kids are fired up. They're getting penetration. That's about the only thing you can do with that power off tackle and counter play.
Saints were down 14-0, and things were not going well until Tom Bardwell picks off a Mark Tomsey pass and races it back 62 yards to the 12-yard line. The Saints scored to the next play, and since then it's been a Central Catholic football game of the Bloomington variety. Cruz is hammered. Oh, man. He was stopped at the line of scrimmage. The primary hit went to Bobby Crawford, but then Todd Sproul came along and polished him off. at the 35-yard line. The point I was going to make about our football broadcast, want to see this play again.
Bobby Crawford just comes off the block, comes back down inside, and makes penetration, stops the initial charge, and everybody else helped him out there.
3rd and 10. The point I was going to make about our football coverage, it's been a lot of fun being with you this fall, but of course the coverage of all of the state championship games, Friday and Saturday, you can see right on telecable through Sports Channel, Channel 25. They have all of the games live.
Spread formation again, flanker and split.
Tomsey back to throw, looks over the middle, deflected. Deflected away by Bardwell and caught by Bob Platt. Bob Platt at the 49-yard line as Aurora Central Catholic got a first down, definitely the hard way.
Tom Bardwell makes a great play on this ball. He's picking up the tight end coming down. His play action right there, tips the ball. Great play, goes right into the hands of the other Aurora player. Those are ones you can't do much about, Art.
That's the tip. That's why you work on the tip drill, but you never know who the tip drill is going to help.
Boy, Tom Bardwell's been all over the field today so far.
He really has, as he has been throughout the playoff series. 3:49 for the half. First down Chargers, 49-yard line. Cruz with the carry. Cruz to the 45, to the 40, to the 39. Going to be very, very close to a first down. Deacon Provost with the tackle, helped out by Crawford and Bardwell.
Central's got to regain their composure right here. They got to get the momentum back. You can tell it's shifted a little bit right there with that big play that Aurora made on that pass.
Both teams, despite the publicity to the contrary, appear to be big play football teams. We knew Central Catholic was, but certainly I've seen no indication that such is not the case with Aurora Central as well. Brian Rosansky, little split receiver wide to the left side as Cruz, the bread and butter, carries the ball to the 37-yard line.
That's his power football right there, Art. They're letting those big people up front work, and they're just giving the ball to the second back through and getting a surge.
Got him the first down. Got him the first down. As there you look at the couple of big guys. Number 72 is Marquel Rodgers at 258, and Joe Whiten at 225, the left guard. Offensive line had a big day for Aurora Central. And Central Catholics has done a good job here in the second quarter. But it's a first down at the 38-yard line. Tied at 14. Tomsey gives the ball to Cruz outside the containment, got away from Hobart, and slipped inside the 35 to the 33-yard line.
Hobart.
Over to make the, yeah, go ahead, Norm.
Hobart had great penetration there, just didn't have a good enough hold on him, you know, because that's what they just ran that tackle trap and let up on through the hole with that big tackle, and just couldn't get our hands on him.
Pick up of 4 yards. The ball's at the 33, and afternoon is becoming mostly cloudy, but still good and dry out here. Excellent playing conditions, not much wind. There's Hobart, big number 72. Second down and 6 from the 33. The Chargers on the drive once again as Cruz goes to the 30, down to the 25, down to the 24 where Bardwell made the tackle. But that's enough for another Charger first down.
Big hole that time. Big seam there. I think he had a down block and they kicked out, and he had a lot of room to run.
First and 10, ball resting on the 25-yard line.
Looked like on the right side it might have been Nate Kunkel, big number 76, the tackle. Very good technique blockers. Flag on the play. Cruz goes to the 21-yard line, but this may be called back. In the first quarter, the Chargers were tagged with 3 penalties for 15 yards, and they're going to have a retreat here. Only 1:47 to go in the half, so Norm, at what point does Mike Curry start putting the ball up, you think?
Well, he's got great field position right here, and I think he's got a little bit more time before he starts getting too concerned about that.
He's out of timeouts. That could be a factor as well.
Down in distance, looks like it's going to be first and 5. Penalty was on Central, right?
Yeah. Illegal substitution was the penalty. There you see Mike Curry, the guy without the cap on the sideline.
I think that's something they got from the scout report. Central goes with some short yardage personnel or goal line defense, and they ran the play real fast. Yeah.
Ran a quick play on them, and they picked up 5 yards in the process. So the ball's now at the 19 in a first and 5. No loss of down, of course. Back to throw. Tomsey throwing deep in the end zone, incomplete. Pretty good coverage from Corey Parker, and the guy they looked for was John Resch. Resch, the backup tight end at 6', a 180-pound junior. The ball was overthrown in the end zone. Good job by Corey Parker.
You know, that's the first chance we really saw that Tomsey stood in the pocket and just threw it without play action. He's got a good arm, and that's a well-thrown ball. And Parker did have great coverage, but I think there's a size disadvantage there. And I think they're picking on him a little bit. Should have been caught.
The guy had the step on Corey, didn't he? and a considerable height advantage. Resch goes 6 even, and Corey Parker checks in at 5'9". Okay, second down from the, let's call it the 19-yard line. 2nd and 5. Tom C. reaches in. This time, Cruz battles straight ahead. He's close to the first down, but stopped down around the 15, it would appear.
Cruz off tackle.
Minute and 19 seconds and counting there. Cruz, they list, I guess I said a 200-pounder earlier. They list him at 190. He's every bit of that. Third down, about a yard, needed the ball at the 15-yard line.
Shotgun.
3rd and 1. Well, good passing down. They feel they can pick it up on 4th down, apparently. Tom C. back to throw. Fires the pass. Deflected by Corey Parker. Boy, I thought for a moment, wow.
That's very risky on Aurora's part. You know, that could be 6 points the other way. I don't know what they were thinking there, but being a coach, I'm not going to second guess.
Well, had Parker picked it off, with his speed, he had a very good chance of scoring, but we almost had the same kind of tip play that got Aurora down here in the first place.
Exactly.
Intended receiver was Rosansky, the wideout, but now it's 4th and a yard at the 15. So,
I thought he was going to run that down, out, and up, Art, and they went with the out instead.
Yeah, it was an out and virtually a flat pass. Okay, the 4th down play, keeping the ball is Tom C. Tom C. cuts it at the 10. He's got the first down, obviously, down to the 5, all the way down to just about the 2-yard line with 49 seconds to go in the half.
Boy, Art, we're seeing two great quarterbacks here today. You know, Tom Barwell is doing an outstanding job, and Mark Tumsey is their big play guy.
We'll see it again.
He just goes to inside option, brings the ball outside, a lot of running room. He's going to get the first down. I think that's designed that he's going to keep it and get the first down. Safe play. Good call.
42 seconds left to go in the half, and Central Catholic wisely calls a timeout. Aurora Central Catholic wanted to run a quick play down here. They had a 1st and goal at the 2. They were set to go, and Bobby Mays and his staff, and particularly defensive coordinator Mike Mays, wanted to sit down there and talk things over down around the 2. 42 seconds left to go in the football game's first half.
Well, I think you're going to see Aurora just come out and try to hammer it in there and get the ball across. If they get down to a 3rd down situation, I think they're going to go back to Tumsey, let him run some type of option.
Well, Tumsey's been kind of a magician. There's no doubt about that. There you see Mike Mays rather intently talking to his defensive unit. This, of course, all started on that deflection where Bardwell deflected the ball, and it was caught by the Aurora Central Catholic receiver. And suddenly they're in pretty good field position, and they have driven downfield since then. There's Bobby Mays, the Saints head coach.
He's got to be feeling pretty good right now, Art. His kids responded. They came from behind. They go in here halftime 14-14. It'll be a good half for them. Let's see what happens here.
Okay. 1st and goal at the 2. 42 seconds left to go in the half.
Time could be a factor here. They got to be careful. They have no timeouts.
Tom C. rolling left side and is dropped at about the 1. He got a yard on the play. Good job by the Saints. Brock was over, Kiley was over, Yeager was over.
Just a little counter option last time, Art.
Line it up quickly from a yard away.
It's going to just throw it out of bounds, stop the clock.
Incomplete pass. That stops the clock with 21 seconds left. It's going to bring up a 3rd down, a yard needed for the score.
Big defensive play there. Going to run a little counter option, misdirection dive right here, spins back. Wants to get it himself, Art, but Central comes up, does a nice job. I think Central knows that down there in the goal line that Tumsey's going to be the man.
Yeah. Well, you got to string him out, and he reads very, very well. Any kind of little seam, he gets in there. All right, play to resume. 3rd, a yard needed for a score as they give it to Cruz, and Cruz bulls very, very close. They say he's not in. They say he's not in. Stops down around the goal line with 12 seconds left. Very, very quickly. The Chargers lining up. The Saints getting up slowly, particularly Ryan Hobart. The official stops the clock. They mark the ball at the 1-yard line inside the 1.
Coach Mays is very upset by that stopping the clock.
5 seconds as Cruz crashes into the end zone for the score. With 1 second to go in the half. In for the touchdown is Steve Cruz from a yard out.
Very upset because those officials stopped that clock. And the only thing I can think of, Art, is those officials stopped that clock because they felt Central Catholic was taking too much time getting up. But that's coaching. You know, they have no timeouts. They can't control that. I don't know. I have a question about that.
Well, Ryan Hobart was a little slow getting up, but normally that will not work in the favor of the offense. Thompson on to attempt the conversion. It's a 20-14 lead to Aurora Central Catholic. The PAT kick is good. We're going to see the whole scenario down there. This is the play that did not make it.
He's short of the goal line for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Looks like the official is letting it run right there, Art. Now all of a sudden he's going to stop the clock. This young man could be hurt. The Central Catholic player. They don't know that for sure.
Getting up slowly. And anyway, the officials gave the Chargers a tremendous break there by stopping the clock. They never would have gotten the other play off. The touchdown play. It's a 15-play drive. 15 plays, 65 yards, 5 minutes and 54 seconds on the scoring drive by Aurora Central Catholic. And Bobby Mays still asking the official why he stopped the clock down there. And it had to be, as Nora Mesh pointed out. They felt that the Saints were this delay in the game. It's going to be a flat kick. Thompson comes forward. Squibs it downfield, picked off by Finnegan. Here is Finnegan at the 30, running laterally, tries to get outside a tackler, does, needs a block. Swings to the 40-yard line, has dropped it about the 43, and that's the end of the first half. Well, it has not been a football game without a lot of excitement.
A lot of big plays, Art.
A lot of huge plays in the first half of the football game, and there you see Bobby Mays still talking to referee Paul Kendall about the stoppage of the clock down there as his ball club seemingly had come up with a goal line stand. And now the official explains to Bobby exactly his ruling, and I think it all concerns Ryan Hobart not getting up very quickly. And as Norm Esch points out, though, of course, you don't know, the kid might be hurt. But then, of course, you'd still stop the clock, wouldn't you?
Oh, sure. I mean, I think Bobby has every reason to question that call. And as you saw right before the half, Bobby's right out there talking to the referee. You got to be careful, though. You want to make sure that you get their attention, but you don't want to alienate them for the second half because...
Yeah. Actually, you would have had a stoppage of clock with an injury anyhow. So, but nevertheless, yeah, as you say, you certainly got to ask about it, that's for sure. Well, it's 21-14. We'll be back and take a look at the first half statistics in this one in just a moment.
We will work hard to fill it up on the court this season. And we ask that you fill it up in the stands.
Reserve your seat today. For more information, call the Redbird Ticket Office at 438-8000. The paper comes home on pay-per-view.
They made a bust in the Williamsburg shooting.
I got something for you.
This is so good, I'm running this tonight.
You don't have it, you know it.
Run what we've got.
What if these aren't the guys? What if they're innocent?
We only have to be right for a day.
This bust is totally cosmetic.
You want to run the story? Go get the story.
Where's this place?
The paper.
They got to get it.
On pay-per-view.
I got it!
Get Ron Howard's The Paper delivered home on pay-per-view.
Well, we're at halftime. As you see, it's Aurora Central Catholic 21, Bloomington Central Catholic 14. Before we get to our stats, I want to correct a score I gave earlier. We'd had information that DuQuoin was leading big over Carlinville in the other 3A semifinal. It's only a 6-0 ball game as of our latest report. And, of course, we're concerned there because the winner there will meet the winner here for the state 3A title next Friday afternoon at 4:30. But we were only 20 points off in that one, so bear with us. Okay, let's take a look at the first half statistical story in this one. And as you can see, the Chargers, really no surprise, have a tremendous edge. You go down to the last column, the last information, time of possession. I think, Norm, that tells the story, doesn't it?
Well, it does, Art. The glaring thing is Central Catholic's defense has been out there a long, long time, and they're getting worn down a little bit because of the size that Aurora has up front and those big running backs. But, you know, I've been in this situation before, and the scoreboard tells the story. I mean, it's 21-14, and big plays have kept Central Catholic in this ballgame.
Time of possession, 1944 for Aurora Central Catholic. Only 4 minutes and 16 seconds for the Saints from Central Catholic. First downs, 11-2 Aurora. Rushing 186 to 11 Aurora. Passing even the edge to the Chargers, 56-55. Total offense, 242 to 63. Turnovers, all have been pass interceptions. And the penalties haven't been a big factor as yet. In fact, the Saints have been tagged only once for 5 yards. But certainly statistically, as well as on the scoreboard, the lead belongs to Aurora Central Catholic. But nevertheless, you get the feeling that the Saints very, very much in this football game. Goodness knows they came back from a 14-0 deficit to tie this thing. So what's one touchdown? Norm, you made a comment about the defense being on the field too long. Kind of project. I know when you were a high school coach, you ran into this situation where most of your kids had to go both ways, as they do here at the 3A level. It's kind of a mindset, isn't it? The same kids are out there playing on both sides of the ball, but the ball changes hands, and suddenly we got it. We're on the attack. It's almost like a refreshener, a second life, isn't it?
Well, I think you're talking about momentum, Art, and momentum is such an important factor in football, especially at the high school level. And if you think back to the first half, Central Catholic really came back and got the momentum back. And I think they lost it is on that one play that Tom Barbo made when he tipped the ball right into the receiver's hands from Aurora. If he would have tipped that ball down, I think the momentum would have stayed with Central Catholic, and I think you probably would have seen them come back out with their offense and probably be 14-14 right now. Yeah,
or they might have even driven themselves. Who knows? But it's that kind of football game, and when you get to this point in the playoffs, the semifinals, and we're now down to the final 24 minutes of the ball game, every play is huge and gigantic. Well, it's 21-14. Aurora Central Catholic on the lead by a touchdown here at the halftime break. We'll be back with the opening kickoff of the second half and all that action for you in just a moment.
What if you came home to a choice between Steven Seagal and Mel Gibson, or between Men in Boxers and Men in Tights? What would you choose? How could you choose? Well, with Videoplex from Telecable, the choice is yours. Because whatever your mood, Videoplex has something for you. Like one fantastic program on one premium channel and a different choice altogether on its companion channel. Videoplex offers your choice of great shows for just pennies a day. So get Videoplex from Telecable and spend the time with whomever you choose.
Tired of all the hot air and hype surrounding hearing aids? Then you need to talk to the professionals at the Cade Hearing Aid and Audiology Center. Cade's trained specialists will give you a free comprehensive evaluation using the latest diagnostic equipment. If a hearing aid is necessary, Cade's can save you hundreds of dollars on quality name brands. So put an end to all the hot air. With over 15 years experience, you can trust the staff at the Cade Hearing Aid and Audiology Center, 606 West Market, Bloomington.
Well, we're about set to go with the second half on a mostly cloudy afternoon in Normesh. To further compound the statistical data we had at halftime, we check now on the play count in the first half. The Chargers ran 42 plays to 10 for the Saints. And you were making a comment from a coaching standpoint. Boy, that just about takes it out of the old offensive coordinator's hands, doesn't it?
Well, as a coach and as a player, you never feel like you're into the ball game. You know, you don't have time to set anything up. When you run 10 plays, you don't know for sure what's going to work and what's not going to work. I think Bobby did experiment a little bit with formations, which he needs to do against this defense, and hopefully we'll see him come out and get some first downs and be able to run some plays so they can get in the ball game a little bit more.
What do you think his approach was at halftime?
Oh, I think that you know, he's going to tell his kids, hey, we're still in the ball game. We made some big plays. We shouldn't be in the ball game, but we are. We have an opportunity to do something now offensively and get back up on top. I think defensively they know what Aurora's going to run. I think the kids got a good feel for that. Power off tackle, belly, second back through, some ISO, and I think Mike Mays will have them ready to go the second half and stop the offense.
Trying to think of somebody on the Central Catholic schedule that was relatively similar to this ball club, and the only one that comes to my mind would possibly be Mahomet Seymour, who kind of mirrored this team to a degree with the big offensive and defensive line. Basically a conservative offense with Zinders, their fine fullback, and of course Kevin Dyer at quarterback. I think they're pretty much the same kind of football team. That's the good news. You played a team like that. The bad news is you lost to them. That was your only loss of the year if you're Central Catholic, 14-7. So this is the kind of team that obviously gives the Saints trouble. A team won't let them touch the football.
Again, I think the key is doing something offensively and getting back up on top. You know, a wing TT is not a come-from-behind type of ball or offense, and you find that wing T teams will sometimes panic a little bit and pressure themselves into mistakes, and I think that's what Central needs to do, is get their offense going. I think that'll solve a lot of problems.
That plus, you have to keep in mind, too, as you see Kevin Brodt there, number 34 for Central. The Saints have never had the lead in this football game either, and that's something that, of course, has to turn around. Teams that aren't behind the game don't tend to make a lot of mistakes. There you see the brand-new scoreboard here at Hancock Stadium with Go Saints up there in the graphics. Should be a great show here this coming weekend, as it always is when they decide the 6 state football champions. I imagine as a college football coach, Norm, you got to enjoy that.
Oh, it's a great weekend for me. I don't know if it's real nice for my family. My wife always figures I'm going to eat some turkey and head out the door.
You're kind of like a kid in a candy store with that, aren't
exactly.
you?
It's nice to get over here and watch some athletes, but also see a lot of coaches. I think that's the key as far as recruiting, is making contact with the coaches that are down here watching the game.
Personal contact is still the name of the game. Yes, you're in sales. There's no question about it. Okay, Mark Thompson to kick it off. Well, the game he's had, end over end, booed, and goes past Kiley, grabbed by Corey Parker at the 17, 20, 25, at the 30, about the 32-yard line. Thought for a moment Corey might find a little seam there. And down to make the hit for Aurora Central was Adam Cato. They're 2 Catos, they're twins on this Charger ball club, and Coach Mike Curry told me he absolutely can't tell them apart. He says he has no idea which one is which. But one of them just made a tackle. Ball's up, let's call it the 32. First down, Central. Lights are going to have to come on here pretty quick, Norm.
It's getting a little dark. The clouds are coming in. Trips formation, spread formation again. Split right, trips left, Art. See what they do.
Bardwell reaches in. Steinbach will snap the ball to him in just a moment. He does so. Here's Bardwell. Tommy keeps the football. Quarterback option, turns it on. Cuts up to the 35. Is knocked out of bounds on about the 36-yard line. Good defensive job on the part of the fine linebacker from Aurora Central, Pat Langan, Langan.
Still a 5-yard gain, though, Art, and they're going to spread them out. I think if he could have got a little bit better block out here in the corner, we would have got a first down on it.
That was your read in the first half, pretty much, wasn't it? You got to spread this defense, so we are going to see that option, the wide stuff, I would think.
Well, Bobby and I have coached together, and I think our philosophies are the same. We like to spread people out and create some mismatches and some seams. I think that's what you're going to see him do.
One-on-one's always better than one-on-3, isn't it?
Exactly.
Question about it. Kiley, the up back in the eye. Corey Parker, the tailback in the eye. There's a pass deflected. Well, the idea was to get the ball to Finnegan.
It was a quick screen out to the flanker, and what happened was the ball was tipped by the defensive end.
John Rush, number 84, the defensive end, got a hand on the football and knocked it away. We're going to see it again.
If you look at it, Art, they got twins out there to the right, and they're not covering them out there. They're putting one guy on 2, and it's definitely a mismatch, and Central is exploiting that. It's just that you got to get those hands down so you can get the ball out there to the receiver.
3rd and 5 for the Saints. Their own 36. Trailing 21-14, third quarter. Deacon Provost wide to the right. Here's Bardwell. He's looking for Deacon. Downfield. He's got him. Complete at the 25, at the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Flag on the play. Well-thrown football.
Legal man down.
Ineligible receiver downfield's got to bring it all back. Well, somebody didn't stay home.
Have to look at the replay, Art, and see who it was. Great protection. Good ball again by Tom Barwell. They're just running by the secondary of Aurora.
Well, I think we've seen what the Central game plan is going to have to be in the second half of this ball game. What a tremendous break for Aurora Central Catholic and against the Saints.
I think Bobby has found a weakness in the secondary, and they're going to exploit that a little bit.
I asked Mike Curry this week how good his secondary was. Quite frankly, he said not real good. So, you know, most coaches aren't quite that frank about it, but that's what he told me. There's Bobby walking on the sideline. What a tremendous, tremendous coaching job.
Semi-roll, starts to sprint out. Art sets up real nice. Yeah, it was Hobart that was downfield.
Brad Hobart, the tackle. So it's going to be a 3rd, and let's call it 10. Actually, about 11 from the 31-yard line. Bardwell coming back.
Little screen.
It's a screen. He scrambles left. Now the screen is broken down. Tommy's running for his life. Sets up. He fires back to Kiley, and Kiley is hit from behind as the ball arrived. They're finally going to call interference. The official looking right at the play didn't throw his flag at all, and the referee.
He's going to call holding, I think, Art.
Up. It's not going to be an interference call at all. It's going to be a holding call against Central Catholic. They haven't got a break from this guy all day, have they?
Well, that's why I said right before the half, you want to question him, but you don't want to alienate him. So there he makes the correct call. He just had his signal wrong. Wanted to throw that middle screen. They had it well covered. Barwell's an athlete. He keeps things going here. He's going to try to make something happen, and that's when you're going to see the holding.
Okay, he did call interference. Defensive holding is what he called. That was on the tackle on Kiley. The initial call, well, we beg your pardon, Mr. Referee. The initial call, he indicated against Central Catholic for holding, which could have happened, of course, on a pass play.
I'm surprised Bobby still had his headsets on. You know, after the call the first half and this one right here, I thought those headsets be off.
Officials indicate holding against the Chargers.
Okay, it's a 4th down upcoming. The Saints need a yard. Now what do? You have the ball at the 41-yard line. You're already behind 7. And I have a feeling that, well, I don't have a feeling at all. Sproul isn't out there, so obviously they're going to go for it.
I think you go for it in this situation. You got to let your kids know that you believe.
3rd down, correction, not 4. 3rd down. The down remains the same, of course, in the penalty, so we beg your pardon. That makes it a little less of a decision, and Bardwell's got the 1st down, I think, up to about the 42.
This is a key series, Art, where Central come out here and establish himself a little bit.
Well, it's already a series that had all kinds of adventures to it. You had a long pass completion to Provost. It was nullified by an ineligible receiver downfield. Then you have a 3rd down situation and long. You throw a pass to Kiley out of desperation because your screen pass had broken down. Then you get a defensive holding penalty against Aurora Central after seemingly it was on you. Now they got the 1st down at the 42.
Twins to the right again, Art.
Bardwell is hit as he hands off to Chris Kiley, and Chris hammers up to about the 45. Just shy of the 45-yard line.
Have to be careful of that penetration. That defensive lineman almost was in there before he made the handoff.
Joe Curry made the tackle. Curry and Langen have just been tremendous linebackers this afternoon. The hit is made at the 45-yard line. It's going to be a 2nd down upcoming for Central and 8. They have the ball after their own 45. Trailing here 21-14. 9:55 3rd quarter. Bardwell fires the pass to Finnegan. Complete. Finnegan at midfield to the 45-yard line before he stopped. Little hitch pattern and making the reception for the Saints with Pat Finnegan, and Patrick moves the ball for the 1st down.
Well, I know Bobby just can't understand why they're not covering the Twins out there, and he's going to exploit it. And that time they got the pass thrown out there and got up in there for the 1st down.
That pass pattern has been there throughout the ball game. And the Saints, of course, really have thrown the ball very well all season long. Bardwell.
They got Twins left again, Art, and they're still not covering it.
Bardwell's pass for 982 yards on the season and rushed for 524. And he's passed to a variety of receivers. There's the little slant pattern to Finnegan. Had it, couldn't hold it. Incomplete pass at the 35. But the completion was there.
He's just going to run a little slant, Art. It's wide open. The safety's playing way off, 10 to 12 yards. There's no one covering. The ball is well thrown. He just couldn't hang on to it.
Bob Platt had the coverage for Aurora Central. He's got it, but never really got the firm grip on the football.
Looks like he took his eyes off it a little bit to start running with it.
There you see Langen come in there to hit him and make sure he didn't hang on. So the football now still at the 45-yard line, 2nd down situation. Split wide, number 8 for Central Catholic, Alan Yeager. Near sideline. Back to throw. Looking is Bardwell. Bardwell firing for Kiley, overthrew him, incomplete at about the 23. Again, Platt with pretty good coverage. So it'll bring up a 3rd down from the 45-yard line.
Yeah, a little pressure there on Bardwell. He stepped up there in the pocket real nice, but those quarterbacks can still sense that pressure, Art. This Kunkel kid, Nate Kunkel for Aurora, is putting a little pressure on. He's the young man that sliced in there on that direct dive, too. So
he's one of their highly touted linemen, a senior at 6'4", 225-pounder.
They got to start blocking him.
Well, basically, in this situation, they're in a 4-man front. That's their 4-4. Their secondary, of course, is really spread out. 3rd down situation. Obvious passing down once again, but all these downs have been passing downs for the Saints. Bardwell back to throw. Decent protection. Looking. He's airing it out deep for Provost. Incomplete at the 10-yard line.
Too much pressure. Had to get rid of it. Needed to wait a little bit second longer to let that receiver clear that DB, Art.
Pretty good pass rush being instituted right now by the Chargers, and this will bring up the 4th down. The Saints will have to kick it away from the 45-yard line of Aurora Central Catholic. So a big stand there by the Chargers, who haven't had the football as yet in the 2nd half. Central just about ran 3 minutes off the clock. The problem is they're behind. They'd like to have those 3 minutes back.
Now you play for field position and make Aurora start in poor field position, Art.
Back to kick it away is Jason Sproul. This will be the infamous pooch kick, although he can kick it full tilt. He's got a long way to go, and he does.
Kicks it away from the receiver, which is a great job.
Ball rolls down. It's going to go out of bounds at about the 1-yard line. Jason Sproul, the sophomore, the magician with the foot, puts it out of bounds at the 1. Tremendous job. That makes all pooch kickers proud. That was a full-blown punt.
That's a great job by the punter. Anytime a team puts one return man back, you want to kick it to one side or the other, and he just does that. And the return man has too much distance to make up, and that ball just goes perfectly out at the 1-yard line.
These two teams are so well coached, Norm. Of course, both of these guys have been around for a long time, Bobby Mays and Mike Curry. It's a tremendous coaching duel between the two this afternoon.
Well, you don't get to the semifinals unless you are a good coach, Art.
And staff, of course, that is well. All right, Mark Tomsey with his ball club at the 1, 99 yards away. Central would love to force the turnover down here, and I think Central has jumped offside. Moving the Central Catholic defensive line, Leo Flynn, I think, jumped offside. He did. So it's going to bring the ball out to the 6, where it'll be a 1st and 5. Ball's almost at the 7. They're going to mark it at the 7. 1st down and 5 needed. Got them pinned down at the 1.5 yard line.
That's what you call an aggressive penalty. You know, you hate to see your kids do that, but you know you don't want to take away their aggressiveness either.
Yeah. I'll tell you, out over the football is Marcus Gonzalez, 6'7", 210 pounds. This is a veteran offensive line for the Chargers. Tomsey, a little misdirection, keeps the football himself, is hit down at just about the line of scrimmage. That time, I didn't really think Tomsey was going to pitch. Namesh, his wingback, was back there to block for him, and in for the Saints making the tackle was Todd Sproul, who's on a pretty big day at defensive end.
I think one of the things that probably Mike Mays made a correction at halftime is when Tomsey carries the football, let's force him to pitch the ball, because I think Aurora wants the ball in his hands.
Ball has been spotted at the 6-yard line. 2nd down. And it's a longer 5 now, about 5.5. Wing set. Wing back to the left side. It's Cruz. They set him in motion this time. Give the ball to Curry and or to the keeper. Quarterback kept it. I guess Tomsey actually. Good fake to Curry, who was the first man through the hole, but Chris Kiley made the tackle on Tomsey. They're not going to do anything too fancy. Deep in their own territory. The Chargers don't want to risk coughing up the football. Have the ball out to the 12, where it will be, or not, they have to get to the 12 for the 1st down, is what I mean to say. It's the 3rd down from the 6-yard line, and still 5. Gonzalez looks nose to nose with Bobby Crawford, the nose guard now for Central Catholic out of a 5-man Saint front. Here's the handoff, diving straight ahead is Cruz. He's out to the 10, but he's going to be, I think, shy of the 1st down by about a half a yard.
It's a great job by the defense, Art. Force that punt.
Ball's going to be marked at the 11. And Tomsey will punt for the first time today. First half, the play count, I guess we gave you this, maybe we forgot to. 42 plays run in the first half for Aurora Central Catholic to 10 for Bloomington Central Catholic. Obviously, they haven't had to punt very much. Well, it's not going to be Tomsey kicking. It's going to be Andy Bohr. Andy Bohr will punt from the end zone. We'll hit it from about the 3. Good rush by the Saints, getting the kick away. Upfield toward Corey Parker. Takes the Central Catholic hop at the 40-yard line. It's going to be downed at the 39 by Adam Cato. And so the Saints have good field position with 6:54 remaining to be played in the game's 3rd quarter, trailing at 21-14.
Much better 3rd quarter here, Art, as far as field position for the Saints. Big thing was stopping them down there, forcing that punt. Now they got the ball on the 40-yard line. Let's see what they can do with it.
Can you imagine, Norm, a game played on November 19th? No wind factor even.
I was just going to mention that. I haven't been to over here Hancock very often when the wind hasn't been a factor.
Oh, boy. They're almost blocked by the Saints. You just see the replay.
And it's a good job by them because their aiming point was right at the foot.
Here's Chris Kiley, and Kiley bulls down to about the 35-yard line.
Ran a little counter with Kiley, and he's a tough kid. I've watched him 3 times this year, Art, and he might be the toughest kid pound for pound out in the field.
He may be. 5'7", 155-pounder. He's a junior. He's playing with a bum back and neck, too.
There's a lot of tradition in the Kiley family. They've had some great football players.
Split receiver near sideline is Finnegan. Here's Bardwell. In motion goes Kiley.
Speed option.
Pitch to Corey Parker. Parker hemmed in, knocked out of bounds at about the 38. That's a loss of a little yardage. Good defensive job. Good defensive read by the Chargers.
Didn't get the block in the corner that time when he pitched the football, and that's who came up and made the play, Art.
Robert Nelson, the left cornerback, came up and made the primary hit, so it was a big play for Central in this series. Third down from the 37-yard line. Well, the first half was replete with sparkling big plays throughout. And a 21-14 score at the halftime intermission. This half has been played not necessarily in a conservative vein, but certainly nobody's been able to come close to getting on the board as yet. Bardwell back to throw. Tommy looks, pass is complete to Provost. Deacon Provost on the seat of his pants takes the pass to the 25-yard line.
Again, Art, the key to Barwell is giving him time to throw, because if you give him enough time, he's going to find that receiver, and he did a nice job of seeing that receiver.
Provost is a fine receiver, too. He and Finnegan do a tremendous job. Of course, they have a lot of good receivers. There's a good block thrown up front by Andy Hennigas, I noticed in our replay, fighting off that on-charging Aurora Central Catholic line. First down, Saints, 25-yard line of Aurora CC. Third period of play, 21-14 ball game. The Aurorans on the lead. Bardwell gives to Corey Parker. Parker outside 25, bounces to the 20, to the 15, to the 10-foot race, goes down, and let's see what they're going to say. He stepped out of bounds. They're going to mark it at the 4-yard line. Corey Parker almost scooted into the end zone.
That time, Art, he didn't look like he was hampered by an injury.
No. Corey's feeling better as the afternoon goes along.
Looks like a little outside zone play, and Aurora Central Catholic was in a double eagle, as we call it, and they bounced it outside.
Well, the Saints are knocking to the door right now at the 4-yard line, looking for the equalizer here at Hancock Stadium. 21-14 football game, 5:15 to go, third quarter. Steinbach out over the ball. Yeager split wide right side. Power I set. They give it to Corey Parker, and Corey's down to around the 2-yard line before being contained. Let's give the primary tackle down there to Marcus Gonzalez, the offensive center and defensive tackle for the Chargers.
Just a little power eye, Art, and they just run isolation left side behind those linemen.
Well, we'll see what the call is here. Second down, they need 2 for the touchdown. Trying to tie this thing up in the third quarter. The Saints have dominated play in Chapter 3. Tailback in the power eye is Parker once again, and Corey drives toward the goal line. Stopped about a yard shy. Good leg drive, but the quarterback, no, it wasn't the quarterback either. Middle linebacker Joe Curry. I was going to say Tomsey in there on defense, but he wasn't. It was the middle linebacker Joe Curry, who's also the fullback, made the tackle down at the 1-yard line. Third down, a yard needed for a score.
Let's see if Central comes back and runs something with Barwell and get him involved a little bit on the goal line here, maybe a little option.
They've done that many, many times this year. Saints break the huddle. And Bardwell runs it okay, but not an option. Quarterback sneak into the end zone. You go with your big QB, and he hammers in for the score, and we got a 21-20 football game with 4:08 to go in the game's third quarter. Tom Bardwell from a yard out.
I believe Central Catholic's come back and made a statement this third quarter, Art.
Well, what a great football game in the semifinals. You know, you couldn't expect a much better football game. You couldn't anticipate a much better game, and this one, you get the feeling it's going. I think the thrills have just started here, Norm. I think we have a lot more to come.
That's what this high school football is all about, right?
Indeed it is. Jason Sproul to attempt to convert. Pat Fettigan to hold. The ball snapped, placed. The kick is on the way by Sproul, the sophomore. Booms her straight through, no question about it. We're tied at 21, and we'll be back with more in just a minute.
Remaining in the third period. Central Catholic Saints.
When buying a car, the decisions can be overwhelming. That's why it's important that your salesperson possesses the knowledge needed to help you find a vehicle that's best for you. At Reback Pontiac Buick, each salesperson receives extensive factory training. The service is award-winning, and Reback consistently sells for less. What does this add up to? Repeat customers. If you want to feel car buying confidence, see Reback Pontiac Buick in Normal.
Reback!
As you can see right now, the stands are empty, but believe me, when Telecable shows up to do a ball game, these stands fill up, and we'll have all kinds of action-packed football for you, as well as volleyball this fall on Telecable. Hi, I'm Art Kimball. I'm the play-by-play voice of Telecable. Let's see what's on tap this week. Well, new football game, 21-21, as you see Waters and Towers in the background. Coming forward is Sproul. He kind of slams it downfield again, picked off by Peterson, the tight end. Oh, man, was he hit at about the 35 or 36-yard line. They're going to mark it as a 35.
Kylie get that hit, Art?
I think Brott got it. I don't know. Brott was at the bottom of the pile. It was a Kylie-type hit, though, wasn't it?
Well, he got up pretty excited. So he's usually around the football.
Well, you can bet Kylie was there somewhere. At any rate, the football resting at the 35-yard line. First down, Aurora Central.
Central's got to just force him, or just play him for 3 plays and force him a punt here, Art.
Well, they had him pinned down, of course, the last series, and drove it in from 39 yards out in 7 plays. After the punt, back to throw is Tomsey. Nobody, I thought nobody there, and then suddenly Parker on the coverage, and diving for the football was Dan Constantino.
Little play action the first play. That kind of surprised me a little bit. I would think Aurora want to come back out and establish that ground game, but Parker had great coverage on that throwback.
A nerve-wracking ball game for a coaching staff, right? Yeah, there's the guy standing down the end zone. That's Mike Nelson's group. Mike, of course, the marketing chief here at Illinois State. Interesting spectators. Okay, the ball's at the 35-yard line. Here's a quick pitch back. He gets the ball to Cruz, and he is mowed down at the 31-yard line. The Saints got a hold of Mr. Cruz this trip. Provost came booming in along with others.
Well, this is definitely a situation you want to put Aurora in, Art. 3rd and long. They're not a throwing team. Tumsey's a good quarterback, though, so we'll see what he does.
There's that scoring march. 7 plays. That was after the decent punt by Aurora Central Catholic, but of course they're punting deep out of their own territory, so about as good as you can hope for. 3rd down, let's call it 14. 14 to 15 needed for the first down. Mark Tomsey dropping back to throw. Tomsey is looking. The game is tied at 21. Pass almost intercepted, but it's completed to the 44-yard line. A great tackle by Bardwell. The pass completed to Josh Resch. Resch made the reception. It's going to be not enough for the first down, but very, very close. They marked the ball at the 44. 4th down and 2.
This was almost 6 points for Central Catholic, Art, on this long throw out. Bardwell comes up and makes a great play again. What an athlete, Art.
Yeah, he's had a tremendous ball game once again. Well, this time, Mike Curry's not going to go for it. So he got burned the last time he went for it on 4th down, didn't make it. They're going to punt it away, and standing back to kick it away is Andy Bohr. Ball is blocked. Ball off the back of one of the blockers, actually. Bohr grabs the football, moves it up to midfield. I think that's going to be a legal play. The ball bounced off the back of one of the linemen on Bohr's punt, was caught, and carried to midfield for a first down for the Chargers.
Exactly. It's going to be a first down for Aurora.
Wow.
What a tough break for the Saints.
Saints have had 2 things happen to them this afternoon, as Bobby Mays can't believe it. The tip play that went against them after a great play by Bardwell, and this was a punt. This punt just hit a lineman in the back.
Just a low punt by the punter.
I think it hit Tomsey. Looks like it might have hit Mark Tomsey back there blocking. At any rate, what a break for the Chargers. They have the ball first down. Fresh set it down to midfield. You want to coach for a living, huh? Here's the give up the middle. Carrying is Cruz. Cruz busts a couple of tackles and moves to the 46-yard line. Take a look at the punt again, Norm. You describe it this trip.
Well, I just think the punter gets the ball low off his foot and hits Tomsey right in the back of the head. And heads up play by Aurora, finding the football to field it for the first down.
There you see his head drop after the ball hit it from behind. Then I'm not really sure who grabbed it, but whoever did gave him a first down. It's now 2nd and a short 6 from the 45. Cruz carries, Steve Cruz inside the 45 down to just about the 44.
Central just have to keep their composure right here, Art. This is a momentum swing, and they have to get it back here. They got a 3rd and 4 here. They just have to play great defense.
Yeah, there are several times in a football game where you just have to buckle up the headgear and go after them and get the job done, seal it off, and this is certainly one of those cases. Bob Platt split wide right. Gonzalez out over the football. The Saints in their 5-man defensive front. Tom Z keeps the football, goes for first down yardage to the 40. Knocked out of bounds inside the 40 at the 39. Bardwell up with the hit along with others. Forced him outside and to the sideline with Todd Sproul, but it's a first down.
Aurora just ran that belly play, and this time Tumsey just keeps it, takes it outside, and Bardwell was there, but he was already past the first down marker.
We have a case of two big quarterbacks here today, too. Tumsey is 6'2", 200-pounder, and of course Tom Bardwell is 6'1". They listed him at 180. I think he may be a little bit bigger than that. At least he appears to be bigger than that. And these guys are very capable of running the football. Ball's at the 40. First down situation. Tomsey back to throw, rifles the pass, it is complete to Cruz. Tightrope walks the sideline at the 30, 25, cuts into the 20, and finally Deacon Provost puts a pad on him at the 19-yard line and drives him out of bounds. Now we're going to see this again. Steve Cruz is tough when he gets his hand on the football.
Just a little pass out in the flat to the running back, Cruz, and he has great balance. He's not an exceptionally fast back, but he has quick feet and great balance, and got to give him credit for staying in bounds down that sideline.
Sure did. Ball's at the 20. First down situation for Aurora Central at the Bloomington Central Catholic 20-yard line. Tied at 21 all. Steve Cruz, little power sweep, cuts it up before he got to the outside. Andy Hennigas made the stop at the 14-yard line. So Mike Curry's team on a relentless drive right now. They've moved the ball to the 14. Art Kimball with you, along with Illinois Wesleyan football coach Norm Esch. Semifinal round of the state 3A playoffs with half a minute to go in the game's third quarter. Ball resting at the 14. Second down, let's call it 5, needed by the Chargers. Saints deploying defensively out of what looks like a 5-4 right now. Tom C gives to Steve Cruz, and Steve Cruz gets to the 10-yard line before being stopped. That's going to be very close to the first down. Norm, it looks like it might be a shade shy right here.
It'll be short. All Aurora's doing right now are just playing smash mouth football. They're just going right at Central, and Central's got to get some penetration and get their pads down right now.
Well, that's it. The end of 3. At the end of 3 quarters, we've got a tie football game, but the ball's going to be resting deep in Saint territory as we start the final quarter. 21-21. We'll be back in just a minute.
Telecable's Videoplex brings you such a variety of entertainment, it's almost spooky.
This Saturday, their house is a museum, and you should come and see them in Adam's Family Values.
Or, no beans about it, you'll laugh yourself silly with the always outrageous Mr. Bean.
Or plunge into some real grunge with this hilarious take on Seattle-style romance in Singles.
Make a date with Telecable's Videoplex and have the time of your life.
Expand your options. Get Videoplex from Telecable.
We will work hard to fill it up on the court this season. And we ask that you fill it up in the stands.
Reserve your seats today. For more information, call the Redbird Ticket Office at 438-8000.
Well, the situation as we start the fourth quarter, 3rd down and 1 for Aurora Central Catholic at the Bloomington Central Catholic 10-yard line in a tie football game. Boy, the pressure just swings from team to team in this game, doesn't it, Norm? The heat was on the Chargers most of that third quarter, and now it's back on Central Catholic.
It's an exciting football game. This is a type of game that fans like to watch. I don't know, as a coach, as a coach, you get some gray hairs in this type of ball game, though.
Big crowd on hand. They're all on the west side of the football stadium here at Hancock Stadium, which is frequently the case. Now, that will not be the case, of course, this weekend when the playoff crowds get in here, but a good crowd on hand, and as you saw them, they are standing. The ball's at the 10-yard line. Our officials this afternoon are Paul Kendall. He's the referee. The umpire is Mike McClintock. The head linesman is Lloyd Bradford. The line judge is Harlan Schickel, and the back judge is Mike Harrison. There you see Mike Curry and his crouch along the sideline, and Bobby May. Those two guys are earning their money this afternoon. No question about that. Talk about an emotional roller coaster, huh?
Well, Central's in a situation here, Art, that Mike Mays is out there talking with them. They want to get penetration on this 3rd and short, but the thing you want to do down in this territory with your defense is create a turnover, because that would be a huge momentum switch.
And you need to keep the Chargers out of that end zone. We're into the 4th quarter now. This is the first play of the final period. They need only a yard, remember, here for the first down. They give it to Steve Cruz, and Cruz got that yard. He got to maybe the 8 before being contained. So it'll be a 1st and goal for Aurora Central Catholic as they're driving here. Play just underway in the 4th quarter. Ryan Hobart checks back in for Central. Ted Wolf comes out. 1st and goal. Chargers break the huddle with Bob Platt split wide to the right side. Peterson is the tight end. Right tight end left is Brian Rosansky. They've ducked that wide receiver into a tight end slot. They give to Cruz, and Cruz just hammers down to about the 6-yard line. It looks like now Coach Mike Curry is pretty determined to go with what got him here, Norm. Mr. Cruz has been his bread and butter, and he's gotten the call frequently.
Well, they're just getting an I formation. They run isolation and run behind the big fullback.
The ball is down at the 6. Here you see it.
Nice job by Hobart coming off that block.
Against an offensive line that does the job pretty well. And that big left tackle, Marquel Rodgers, is a 6'3", 258-pounder. 2nd down, the ball has been marked at the 6-yard line. Cruz goes in motion, back to throw. Tomsey out of the end zone for Peterson. Well, that didn't work out the way he wanted to. He kind of shakes his head and looks over to the bench to Mike Curry.
I think somebody ran a wrong pattern there. I think they wanted to flood it out there instead of going deep in the end zone.
Well, wisely, Tomsey made sure it wasn't intercepted. He just threw it away. I think the Chargers are going to take a timeout. Here they are. We're tied at 21. 10:53 to go in the football game. Walking on the playing field is Mike Curry to talk it over. Let's take the timeout with him. We'll be back, and the ball will be resting at the 6-yard line of Bloomington Central Catholic. Back in just a moment.
Officials indicate timeout.
The paper comes home on pay-per-view.
They made a bust in the Williamsburg shooting.
I got something for you.
This is so good, I'm running this tonight.
You don't have it, you know it.
Run what we've got.
What if these aren't the guys? What if they're innocent?
We only have to be right for a day.
This bust is totally cosmetic.
You want to run the story? Go get the story.
Where's this place?
The paper.
They got to get it.
On pay-per-view.
I got it!
Get Ron Howard's The Paper delivered home on pay-per-view.
Looking for a new home and running into nothing but closed doors? Let Mary Lou Kimball and Coldwell Banker Heart of America Realtors help you open those doors. As a full-time professional, Mary Lou's experience can help you understand the ever-changing real estate market, opening up new buying opportunities you may never have thought of.
So whether you're buying or selling, let me open the door to your future. Call 662-9333 today.
Well, Mike Curry has been through all of this before, the pressure of the state playoffs. He had great success with Aquin. I believe he won the state titles in 81 and 86 and 1A at Aquin. At least that's what I have in my notes. Up in Freeport, he's in his 8th year at Aurora Central.
Got split backs, Art. It's the first time I've seen this, so let's see what they do. No, I guess they did run this one at a time. They did throw out of split backs.
Curry and Cruz the backs. Here's the ball thrown. Pass interference. Platt was the intended receiver. They're going to call pass interference on Pat Finnegan. This will be a half the distance penalty.
I think their feet just got tangled up, Art.
I thought the receiver stumbled over there, Bob Platt, and then Finnegan kind of ran into him.
Gets straight drop back. He does a nice job of looking off the receiver. He's going to go one-on-one. It's hard to see, Art. I don't know if...
Yeah, I thought he just lost his footing. Anyway, it's a half the distance penalty, and worse yet, it carries with it the automatic first down. Going to see it at regular speed now. Hey, he fell down, and Finnegan thought that was it. Well, the ball rested at the 3-yard line. First down, fresh set of downs now for the Chargers. They give to Steve Cruz, and he spun down at about the 1-yard line. Well, it's been tough to keep Cruz from getting any yardage at all. Hobart at the bottom of the pile for the Saints. And he helped jam it up. Hennigas was in on the stop as well as Ted Wolf. The ball is at the 1 yard line. Second down, a yard needed for a score.
Again, this is where you want your defense to rise to the occasion. Try to force that turnover right now, Art.
Ball to 1. Under center. Thompson, quarterback sneak. He bowls very, very close to the goal line. Central thinks there's a fumble, apparently.
Ball.
Central Catholic has recovered the football. I guess. Apparently the ball popped free and the Saints come up with it down around the 1 yard line. I have no idea what happened. Let's hope our ground level camera will show us. The ball came free. He was stopped obviously shy of the goal line. Let's rely on instant replay here.
We'll bring the ball out to the 20-yard
Yep,
line.
the ball is rolling free, and it looks like Kiley.
I don't know if he ever had it, Art. He was looking for the ball as he was twisted into the end zone. I don't know.
It
Maybe
appears he didn't get the ball. Chris Kiley recovered it in the end zone. It's an automatic touchback. Comes out to the 20. What a break for the Saints, huh?
I've seen one of those this year, Art.
Yes, I know you have. In a rather big ball game, as I recall.
Big break for the Central Catholic.
Saints have the ball at the 20-yard line and nullify what looked like a sure go-ahead scoring drive as Corey Parker lost a couple. See it again.
He stopped by number 80, tackle Chad Peterson for the Chargers.
There's Thompson at quarterback. He's going to sneak it here, Norm.
See, right now, I don't know if he has the football. Looks like he took it right off.
Yeah, no, he didn't have the football.
He did not have it from the exchange from the center.
Yeah, he had snapped from Gonzalez. They didn't handle the ball well.
Just too anxious to get that ball into the end zone.
Yeah, it looked like Chris Kiley was the guy on the football. Saints are faced with a second down 11 now as they send Chris Kiley in motion. Back to throw is Bardwell. He fakes the pass, keeps the football, got back to about the 20, and then somehow squirmed free to about the 22.
On the keeper, number 17, quarterback.
Going to bring up a third down at 8.
Looks like he wanted to go to a little swing pass out there to Kiley, and it wasn't open, and Bardwell just heads up and turned it upfield to get some positive yards.
Been a very intelligent quarterback all year for Bobby Mays. So the ball is at the 23. Third and 8. Central Catholic incredibly stopped an Aurora Central drive with a fumble recovery at the goal line, actually into the end zone. Back to throw is Tom Bardwell. Pass for Kiley is incomplete. Nice coverage out there on the part of John Nelson, the outside linebacker for the Chargers. So Central Catholic will have to punt it away. This brings up a fourth down and 8 yards needed. No time to fool around here. You got to kick it out of there and play defense again. 8:47 left to go in the ball game. We may be here a while, Norm.
Well,
the way this one is going.
You know somebody's going to win it, Art, so we'll be here when it
eventually,
happens.
yeah. We'll be here to the finish. Back to kick is Jason Sproul.
Back deep now for the Chargers, number 17.
Standing back inside the 10. Good snap, obviously a return on for Aurora Central, and taking the ball is Platt, and he is pinned down at the 47-yard line. Bob Platt handled the ball nicely. The ball is going to be spotted at the 48. So it's good field position as far as the Chargers are concerned once again.
That's great special teams play, and it's so important when you get into a championship series, Art.
And those special teams really win a lot of football games for you. No question about it. Well, let's see who Central's got out there defensively. They still have a Todd Sproul at one defensive end, and actually Hobart at the other in their four-man front. Hennigas, a down lineman inside a tackle, and Bobby Crawford, the other down lineman right now. The ball resting at the 48-yard line. Little misdirection to Steve Cruz. Runs into a lot of folks. Great effort. Moves the ball to Central territory to the 48. We have a flag. This may be a hold on the Chargers. It is. Haven't been many penalties on Aurora Central Catholic this afternoon, but they just picked up a 10-yarder, a hold on that particular play.
Referee saw it all the way, Art.
Yeah, no hesitation at all.
Just that little counter play again. They pulled that lineman up through, and they really had a good play by the Central Catholic's defense to stop him. And then Cruz got loose a little bit, spun around, and picked up those extra yards. But it's always tough when you have that hold.
Yeah, we're going to see it again from ground level. Well, the hold could have been on Nate Kunkel, the big right tackle. Looked like Kunkel may have had the wraparound. Usually officials will call holding at the point of the attack. That's usually where they see it because they're watching the ball pretty closely. They won't admit to that, of course. Back to throw is Tom C. Tom C. looks. He fires the pass for Peterson, incomplete.
We're seeing a big tendency with Aurora, Art, when they get in those split backs. They're just going to drop Tumsey straight back and throw the football. And they like that flat route. They got to be careful because that could be 6 points if they play it underneath.
Yeah, they don't, you know, I really can't get a feel for their passing game today, Norm. They've looked very good on occasion. Other occasions look like they really don't believe in it a great deal.
Well, Tumsey's a great athlete, and I think he could be a great passer. I just don't think they work it enough.
Yeah, their philosophy is definitely not throw the football.
There's a new formation. They have a trips right.
As the Tumsey and the quarterback draw moves up to the 44. The play didn't give them the big yardage they were hoping for. Third down, 13, 21-21. Setting the stage for an unbelievable finish in this one. Ball's at the 44-yard line.
Central's got to be careful of a screen right here, Art. This would be a great time to run it for Aurora.
Inside screen, you think?
Inside, or they could even run a screen away from the trip set.
To the near sideline.
Back into the boundary.
Yeah. Well, it's a shotgun set.
He's throwing all the way.
Tumsey back to throw. The lefty scrambles.
No containment.
He rolls. He flips the pass to Peterson. Complete to midfield. And he dives inside the Central Catholic 45. The St. 45 to the 44-yard line. Not going to be enough for the first down, but a whale of a play. Kind of a broken play. And Tumsey alertly saw his tight end, Peterson, dump the ball over to Chad. And Chad dove down to the 44-yard line where it's going to be a 4th down and a yard.
Again, shotgun. Tumsey doesn't have anything. Makes a heads-up play right here, dumps it off to Peterson. Peterson makes a great effort here.
Almost dove for the first down. Now the punt obviously comes up with Andy Bohr. Last time they got a first down when Bohr bounced one off Tumsey's head, blocking for him.
This is a good coaching move right here. You want to play field position in this game right now.
Want to put Central as deep as possible. Bohr with a line drive kick. The ball's fielded by Yeager. He probably put his letter off to let it go in the end zone. He comes out to the 10, flag on the play, 15, 20, 25, and is knocked out of bounds at about the 29-yard line, but there is going to be a clip call.
I want to see this, Art. I think it was a pretty good block. I thought he had his head in front here, but we'll see it on the replay, I'm sure. But it's nice play setting up the wall.
Injured player on the field for Aurora Central, a clip against Central Catholic.
Well, yeah.
Yeager elects to return this. The ball probably would have gone back to the 20-yard line. Now, of course,
he had it in front there. That's a good block. That's too bad. Yeah. You know, a lot of times officials make that call and they don't see the first part of it, and all they do is see the end part of it. And I know as a coach, we've had that happen to us. And, you know, when you work that punt return and get that wall set up, that's a legal block.
Yeah, Todd Sproul is the guy that threw the block, at least the one we saw on the replay, and it was just a good, solid block. There may have been another one thrown as well.
Could have been another one.
Going to see it again.
For Central Catholic Saints with the ball at the
Don't see anything yet that looks like a clip. Well, they could have called a little bit of a shove on Gary Johnson of the Saints there, number 72. I'm not really sure what they called, or 62 rather. Hobart 72. The ball rests at the 7-yard line. Central Catholic in a first down situation, and Bardwell drives it out to about the 13. So it's going to be a second down upcoming and 5 needed for a Central Catholic first down, maybe actually about 4. They moved the ball to the 13-yard line. We're tied at 21. The clock rolling rapidly toward the conclusion of regulation. With 5:54 left to go in the ball game.
I think right now Bobby's just going to try to get some first downs, get some field position, then look for him to open it up a little bit because they can put this ball in with this much time.
They don't need a lot of time to score. Here's the quick pitch right side to Corey Parker. They string it out. Parker back against the grain to the 18-yard line before being contained. Over to make the primary hit was Jim Pacharich. Pacharich, a defensive back, 6'7", a 185-pounder. Made the stop. Third down for Central, and boy, they don't need much, do they? Maybe close enough for a measurement. Yep, officials said they're going to bring in the chains.
They've done a great job, Art. I think that first play where Bardwell took it himself, got positive yards, and then came back with a little toss sweep, and that's a nice play for Parker because you really let him choose his seam on that. Depends on what the defense is doing. If they're stringing it out, he cut it back up inside and almost got the first down.
Yeah, let's see. Did they make it or not? Chain gang measuring.
2 inches.
Doesn't look like it. Yeah, they're shy, but not by much. No wind factor at all. It makes no difference which direction you're moving at Hancock Stadium this afternoon. Afternoons become chilly, but certainly, as you see Old Glory in the north end zone, not even a ripple.
Look to Bardwell keeping it himself, Art.
Yeah, 3rd and distinction is needed for the first down. The first down is a paramount right here. Tommy Bardwell at quarterback. He's going to throw it. Incomplete over the head of Deacon Provost on the 3rd down play.
That could have been a check. That might have been a check out in the field.
Yep.
Bobby was awful upset with that. So, you know, sometimes you give your quarterback the option to check at the line of scrimmage.
That's not the play that they wanted, I'm sure of that. So they're going to be forced to kick it away now. 4th down. And just about, well, half a yard. Instead of going for it, which obviously I said the first down was paramount, I was amazed to see him throw it. Jason Sproul back to kick it away.
Kick it away from him. Good job again.
Kicks the ball up and rolls and is going to go out of bounds right at the 45-yard line of Central Catholic. But now the pressure goes back on the Saints. Boy, that's a tremendous rock in that situation, Norm.
Well, you know, again, you got to be careful momentum. You know, Aurora might have got it back right there because they were looking at a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 inches.
Yeah,
really.
but on 3rd down, all you have to do, you get the first down. You don't make the first down, then you kick it. Bobby Mays, well, I'm sure doesn't want Bobby call. I know that. Sometimes the kids get creative, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Ball's at the 45-yard line. Well, see if the Saints can shore it up and make the defensive plays. They're going to have to now. Here is Steve Cruz, and Cruz fights his way to up the 42. The Saints are hitting, aren't they? Wow.
Boy, Bardwell's been all over
and
the field.
Bardwell, yeah. Bardwell has had a tremendous game on both sides of the ball. That's been the story with this kid. Most of the season, but particularly down the stretch of the playoffs. He's had great game after great game. Central Catholic has beaten Canton, Pontiac, and Spring Valley Hall in the postseason. They knocked off the defending 3A champions in Pontiac. They knocked off the number 2 ranked 3A team in Hall. And they're fighting for their lives here in a 21-21 ball game. The ball on their own 42, 2nd and 8. And Steve Curry, or that's Joe Curry, I should say. Steve Cruz is the tailback. Joe Curry's the fullback. He hammers inside the 40 down to about the 38.
I don't think you're going to see Aurora get real fancy here, Art. I think they're just going to go right at Central.
Well, they want to get close enough. I think we might see a Tom C. field goal try. They've disdained that in the first quarter where they had an opportunity, but if the game's on the line, I think you're going to see that possibility, certainly.
They have to get the ball inside the 15 for him to be effective.
At least, I would think. 3rd down situation, big play here for the Chargers, and they go their bread and butter. Steve Cruz, he didn't get much.
Great penetration.
Great job by Chris Kiley. Kiley penetrated, then he had all kinds of help. Hobart helped out, and then so did Leo Flynn as they pinned down the ball carrier at the 37-yard line. 4th down for Aurora Central. They need 2. They're going to take a timeout and talk it over right now. Timeout Aurora Central. We have 3:38 left to play in the 3A semifinals, tied at 21.
We will work hard to fill it up on the court this season. And we ask that you fill it up in the stands.
Reserve your seats today. For more information, call the Redbird Ticket Office at 438-8000. The paper comes home on pay-per-view.
They made a bust in the Williamsburg shooting.
I got something for you.
This is so good, I'm running this tonight.
You don't have it, you know it.
Run what we've got.
What if these aren't the guys? What if they're innocent?
We only have to be right for a day.
This bust is totally cosmetic.
You want to run the story? Go get the story.
Where's this place?
The paper.
They got to get it.
On pay-per-view.
I got it!
Get Ron Howard's The Paper delivered home on pay-per-view.
Steve Cruz at this point, according to Jim Bowers, our crack statistician. Big day, 35 carries for 140 yards, Norm, for Mr. Cruz. That's not surprising. We knew he was having a big day.
He's a fine back. He has great balance, and he's tough to bring down.
Not often that I have the coach of a conference co-championship team with me on the college level. What are you going to call here, Coach? It's 4th and 2. The ball's at the 37.
If I had my own offense, I'd tell you, but this is not my offense, so I'm not going to commit to this.
Not going to commit. Diplomatic. Under center. Tomsey. Little collision in the backfield. Tomsey gives ground, fires. Oh, he completed the pass to Peterson. 25 at the 20. Oh. Fumbles the football, and the Saints still loose. Let's see who's got the ball.
I think that Aurora might have
it. The Chargers had it, lost it. Central had it, squirmed free from them. The ball is on the 16-yard line. Well, what a big call this is as the officials sorted out. Peterson made the initial catch. I think Kiley had his hands on the football. The wrestling match ensues, and they're going to say Central Catholic has recovered the football.
That's amazing, Art.
Chris Kiley comes out with the football again. Kiley was there along with Hobart.
I'll tell you what, that's just determination. It's hard to tell. That ball's all over the place.
Oh, man. Kiley has the football for the Saints, and Central has the ball at his own 16-yard line.
You win championships making big plays, Art, and Central Catholic's doing it right now.
Well, the play was a broken play to begin with for Aurora Central Catholic, and they bailed themselves out. Peterson made a great catch of a great throw by Tomsey, but now the Saints have the ball at their own 16, tied at 21. Bardwell fakes. Now he rolls to the left side. He's smothered for a loss of yardage all the way back on the 7-yard line. In to make the hit for the Chargers was Josh Resch. Resch with the tackle. I'm not really sure what the play was going to be, but it certainly didn't work out. The loss is taking the ball back to, they're going to mark it at the 8.
I think it was a delayed draw, and I just think he couldn't get the handoff. It looks like he was going to fake that swing pass and then hand the ball off, and I think the back was just too far away from Barwell.
All standing here at the end of this one. 2:32 left to go. Tied at 21. The ball rests at the 7-yard line.
We're going to spread him out again, Art. See what he does.
Barwell drops back to the 1-yard line. Sets up. Fires the pass. He's got Yeager. Yeager at the 20. Stopped at the 21-yard line. Andy Yeager out to the 21. It's going to be short of the first down. It'll bring up a 3rd down for Central Catholic with 2:07 to go and time still moving. Timeout situation, Norm. We haven't mentioned this. 3 for Central Catholic. They're all left. Only 1 for the Chargers.
Well, the defensive strategy here is make sure that Central throws underneath. They're not going to let anything get deep on them. They did that. What Central Catholic has to do is give Barwell time to throw, and that's what they did. And I tell you what, there's a lineman in there did a heck of a job because they got great pressure from the right defensive end from Aurora, and he just took on the defensive man and then allowed Tom to step up and throw the ball.
You're almost in a prevent defense situation here as far as Aurora Central Catholic is concerned, with the exception of the fact they know Sproul's a pretty good field goal kicker, and they certainly don't want to let Central get as deep as the 20-yard line. I think probably from, they need to be, well, from the 15 back, say, 22, 32-yard field goals within Sproul's range, and you can push it back a little further than that, maybe. A lot of pressure on a sophomore, if that's what it boils down to. But, of course, it's a little different ball game when you're tied. You know, if you're behind in this situation, Norm is shaking his head because he's been in the situation both sides of the ball. But when you're tied, you can try a few things because you can still then play for the overtime.
Well, I think what Central wants right now is just an opportunity to try it.
Yeah.
You know, let's get in position to try
it. Get a shot. Tom Bardwell, Norm, is 5 of 15 with 2 interceptions for 90 yards. Tomsey is 8 of 16 with 1 interception for 121 yards. So both quarterbacks have had big ball games. Bardwell dropping back to throw. 1:54 to go. Here's Tom throwing deep for Provost. He's behind the defender. He's got it. Provost is dropped at the 40-yard line.
We got a penalty down, though, Art. Penalties down at the line of scrimmage.
Flag down. The penalties on Central Catholic, and for the second time, a long completion to Provost today is going to be nullified. Ineligible receiver downfield the first time. This time it's going to be a hold against the Saints.
Let's see. Let's see if we can see who holds on this, Art. Well, yeah, I thought they were getting great time. It must have been away from the camera.
Yeah. Well, great pass, great catch by Provost. But again, nullified by a penalty. They haven't had a lot of penalties, but boy, they've been big ones.
This is where you got to be careful. You know, field position is a key right now. You don't want to do anything to turn the ball over to Aurora. You know, get the ball out of here by punting and let your defense play with 1:40 to go.
Penalty, the holding penalty, is taking the ball back to the 9. Of course, it's a half the distance penalty. So it's a 3rd down and about 16. 3rd and 16. They don't get it all here. They're going to have to kick. Bardwell throws the pass for Provost. Great catch. Deacon Provost in a mob with a spectacular catch at the 38-yard line. Up in the middle of everybody. 3 defenders. Platt was there. The linebacker also, Pat Langan, was there.
I want to see this again. I think they just ran some verticals on Aurora, and you know, this is even if the ball is intercepted, it's just as good as a punt right here. And boy, when you got a receiver that can go up and get the ball like that, great job. That's a big play again.
Deacon Provost, 5'7", 160, a senior. 1st down, Central Catholic. 1:09 to go in a tie football game. Throwing for Finnegan, incomplete. Broken up at the 35-yard line. Platt thought he had the interception shot, and he did. John Nelson was back there as well for the Chargers. Incomplete pass. Central Catholic operating from its own 38. 2nd down, 10.
Free State, had a good jump on the ball, Art, and really should have intercepted that ball.
And he knew it. He knew he should have intercepted it. Well, you know Bardwell's going to be putting it up here, as he has throughout the second half of the football game. That's been the Central game. It's been pretty much the rush of Aurora Central Catholic against the Saints passing.
Well, Aurora's getting some great drops. Like to see him go to some underneath stuff and just keep him honest a little bit.
1:05 left to go in regulation, tied at 21. A real thriller in this 3A semifinal. Corey Parker in motion. Back to throw as Bardwell has good protection. Tom is looking downfield for Parker. It's there, incomplete. Broken up nicely. Good defensive job by the Chargers. Parker was there. Double coverage from Andy Bohr, number 20, and John Nelson, number 40. Incomplete forward pass.
Well, what they're going to do right here is put Parker in motion, and he runs it out and then turns it up and goes on the go. And I just think the ball tipped there or maybe just dropped. I don't know, but it was there.
Yeah, it looked like somebody maybe got a shoulder or something on the football. They were covering, they were playing the man, not the ball, which can be kind of dangerous. But they got away with it.
I don't know.
Ball might have been slightly underthrown, too. Okay, 3rd down from the 38-yard line. Saints with 59 seconds left in regulation. Dropping back to throw as you see the inset clock. Here is Bardwell. Bardwell is going to be dumped at the 40-yard line. Nobody. Good secondary coverage. That was a secondary coverage sack, really. The tackle engineered by Nate Kunkel. 4th down and 8 for the Saints. They got the ball at the 40-yard line with 44 seconds left.
It's a good play by Bardwell. Got a lot of pressure. Didn't want to risk anything. Just get up and get what you can.
Well, Saints want to run as much time off this clock as they can now because they're looking at an overtime football game. We're only half a minute and the clock continues to roll as Bardwell confers on the sideline with Bobby Mays. He and Dave Wiltz. Now Finnegan comes over. And they're going to take a timeout and stop the clock right here. It's a 4th down from the 40-yard line. Norm, this has been a tremendous, tremendous high school football game. And I guess this is the reason the prep playoffs have been so popular in Illinois.
Well, you're seeing 2 great teams out here. They both want to get to that championship game, and they're executing and making big plays. You couldn't ask anything more as a fan today.
No, you really couldn't. And it's not over yet, friends. We're tied. The ball's at the 40-yard line of Central Catholic. They're 60 yards away. And of course, Aurora Central Catholic figures they're 1 down away from maybe getting a crack at a desperation play at the finish.
Well, the way the game's going, Art, you wonder how many overtimes it's going to take to win this game.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. What do we have? One early in the playoffs that went to 5 overtimes. Maybe that's a regular season game this year. Well, happy to report that Lexington a winner over Greenfield. So the Minutemen will be playing for the 1A state championship next weekend. Congratulations to Hal Kyoto. Great coaching job for Hal this year. Central punting it away. On the 4th and 8, Jason Sproul, kick, bounds down to the 30-yard line, rolls to the 25, Down to the 23, 8 seconds all that remain. Now 7 seconds. Now 6 seconds.
Did a great job of milking that clock down, didn't they?
6 seconds left.
One play, Art. That's all they're going to get.
One play for the Chargers.
I think they'll be in a prevent defense, don't you?
Boy, I would think so. It may be a one-man rush, too. They may let Thompson wander all day back there. Well, this is the kind of game one would think probably should go to overtime in that kind of a football game.
Well, I got to say, the Saints have come out and played a great second half, though. I mean, that first half, sure, that they were dominated a little bit by Aurora, but they've come back.
Time expired. They will not get a play off. The clock continued to roll, and Aurora Central made no effort to stop it. So, at the end of regulation, it's 21-21. We'll go to overtime in just a moment.
From Alaska to the Caribbean, Seven Seas Travel offers the finest in cruises. As a full-service travel agency, Seven Seas experienced staff will help you select a cruise from the best in the business. Royal Caribbean, Princess, Holland America, Seabourn, and more. And Seven Seas can help you save money with senior citizens discounts, customized group travel, and unpublished hotel and cruise rates. This year, take a vacation like no other. A cruise from Seven Seas Travel.
If you had 3 channels of HBO, you'd have a night like this. There's a suspense premiere on HBO. Oscar winner Tommy Lee Jones is hot on the trail of Harrison Ford, The Fugitive. It's comedy on HBO, too. Matt Dillon, Annabella Sciorra, Mr. Wonderful. Or see a Western on HBO 3. Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, Unforgiven. 3 great choices, 3 different channels. 3 good reasons to watch HBO, the best choice on TV.
Well, there you see the Saints huddling on the sideline. The captains will meet and will decide exactly what's going to happen, or maybe they've already met. See which end zone they will be going toward, which end of the field here at Hancock Stadium. Tied 21-21. For those of you not familiar with the high school playoff system in Illinois, it's possession at the 10-yard line and 4 cracks at trying to score any old way you can. And then after you have your 4 plays, the other guy gets his 4 and tries to do the same thing. I guess most coaches prefer to start on defense, Norm, and know what they have to do, right?
Exactly. That's what I always wanted to do when we went into overtime. Put your team on defense, see what that other team's going to do, see if they're going to get to take a field goal in a 4th down situation.
We'll have to have a coin toss here. I thought this might have been done, but it has not been done. Coin toss here now. The winner of the toss, of course, will have the option as to whether they want the ball or want to play defense. As you see, the captains from Central Catholic, Deacon Provost, Andy Henniges, Chris Kiley, and Tom Bardwell go out there. For Aurora Central, it's Mark Comsey on the playing field. Steve Cruz, number 30, there. The co-captains, tri-captains, too. And the 3rd captain is the linebacker, Pat Langen. So, we'll see what happens here. Going to overtime at Hancock Stadium in the 3A semifinals. Been a tremendous high school football game. We got the stats after regulation. Total offense, Aurora Central Catholic 353. Bloomington Central Catholic 175. Rushing yardage, Aurora 232 to Bloomington 56. Passing yardage, the Saints 111 to 121 for Aurora Central. Individual rushing, Steve Cruz 35 for 140 yards. Well, they tossed a coin. And let's see who won it. Corey Parker, the top rusher for Central Catholic. 9 carries for 35 yards. Receiving, Deacon Provost has 3 receptions for 93 yards. All right, now you see it moving the position. Central Catholic won the toss. Saints will play defense.
First possession will be going to the Chargers.
And so, Aurora Central will have the football.
Catholic Saints.
They're going to run this down at the south end of Hancock Stadium. Todd Kerr is walking past the Central Catholic bench. Of course, one of the better-known Saint alumnus as far as football talent is concerned. ISU's a kicker. So the ball goes at the 10-yard line. Central Catholic on defense. Well, the Saints won phase number 1 of that, Norm.
And they picked the south end zone. That's the one we wanted to go to, Art, right?
We just have a little better look from here. We have a little better camera shot with an end zone camera sitting down there. This press box at Illinois State does not sit on the 50-yard line. This may be one of the only places in the country where the press box is not at midfield. At least our broadcast booth is actually at about the 30. There you see the end zone camera. Well, 21-21. Saint defense goes out. Now the lights start to come on here. These are the lights that take a while to warm up at Hancock Stadium, too. So they will not be full tilt here for a while. I suppose the feeling was they didn't want to turn it on during regulation.
This is where the home crowd's got to let the defense know that they're behind them right now, Art.
Give them a lift. Oh, there's a big, big crowd from Aurora Central here as well today. Okay. 4 cracks on it from the 10-yard line. This, to me, is one of the most exciting situations in sports. The high school overtime. Here we go in the extra session. Tomsey out of a full house backfield. They have 4 cracks. Gives the ball up the middle, and Nemesh's wingback out of the right halfback spot bowls down to about the 6-yard line. Boy, Bardwell again. And Kiley combining the tackle. So it's going to be a 2nd down situation with about 6 yards needed for a touchdown. No first down possibility. Of course, no clock. We're in overtime. Again, full house, straight tee from Mike Curry. Central Catholic up in his basic goal line stand, a 6-man front. And they give to Nemesh again. No, this time, yeah, it was Nemesh. Nemesh carries back to the 5-yard line. So it's going to be now a 3rd down. See where they're going to mark the football.
Great job that time. They got some penetration.
Chris Kiley is injured on the play for Central Catholic. As you can see, Chris is really hurting out there. He came into the game with a back and neck problem. He's going to be replaced by John Bardwell. And boy, losing Kiley out of there. Here's John coming out, talking to Tom Bardwell. And the freshman is going to get the call in this situation.
Let's see if Kiley makes a stop here.
Well, you can bet he was involved.
He's about bottom at the pile there.
Yeah, he was involved, and Chris is down on the playing field. He's had a tremendous football game again, but has been fighting back and shoulder problems a goodly portion of the season, for that matter. 3rd down upcoming for Aurora Central Catholic. For all intents and purposes, they're 5 yards away from a score in the first overtime period. Central Catholic won the toss, elected to go on defense, and there you see Chris on the ground.
We'd like to remind the fans to please remain.
Let's take a break while they're working on Chris Kiley. We're in overtime, tied at 21-21. 3rd and 5 needed for the score upcoming for the Chargers. Back in just a minute. Well, they're helping Chris Kiley off the field, as you can see. It's a great hand. Should have a hand from all the fans out here. And Chris is obviously hurting as they bring him over to the sideline. Once again, for the Saints, he's played a tremendous football game. And there's no question losing him in this situation is a tough break for Central. Okay, the ball rests at the 5-yard line. 3rd down and 5 for a score. Tomsey at quarterback. Play action fake. Looking in the end zone. Jump pass. Incomplete. Broken up, and a great play by Pat Finnegan. Finnegan got there wide open. Momentarily was the receiver.
Outstanding play, Art, by Finnegan. Outstanding.
Bob Platt, the intended receiver.
Getting some pressure right here on him right there.
Jump pass. It was an ad lib. There you saw Platt, number 17, and Finnegan cut in front of him and knocked the ball down. 4th down. Well,
no field goal, Art. It looks like they're going for it.
Yeah, that plays in Central Catholic's hands because, of course, with Sproul at this situation, course, Mike Curry's aware of that. He figures it's going to take 6 to win probably anyway.
They go with play action again, Art, on this.
This is the wing key to the right side. They send the wing back flat in motion. Back to throw is Tomsey. Tomsey looking out of the end zone, incomplete. And so the Saints will take over. The Saints will take over at the 10-yard line with an opportunity. Any old kind of a point will win it for them.
Great job defensively. Defense rose the occasion.
Boy, they sure did. Score remains at 21-21.
You know what they say, Art? Championships are won with the defense.
Well, boy, that was certainly the case there. So now the pressure is going to be on the Aurora Central Catholic Chargers and their defense, which has been outstanding all year long as well. The Saints do not have Chris Kiley in there, and Kiley on the sideline after getting banged up out there. Well, what do you do? Probably pretty conservative football here and go to Sproul for 3, huh?
Well, you want to take a shot at it, but you don't want to do anything to risk a turnover down here.
Don't want to turn it over, don't want to lose yardage. They give to Corey Parker. Parker at the 10-yard line, at the 5, running for the pylon. He's in for the touchdown. And Central Catholic has won the ball game.
Great call by Coach Mays. Little counteraction, the goal line. They had an outstanding block there on the corner for Corey to get in the end zone.
Corey Parker scrambles in from 10 yards out, and Central wins the ball game 27-21. They're delirious on the playing field here at Hancock Stadium. We're going to see it again.
Here comes the counter. I can't see the blockers out here, but they had the whole corner walled off, and it was just nothing but room for Corey to run in the end zone, Art.
So the Saints will indeed play for the state 3A championship. Central Catholic advances to the 3A state championship game, which will be played at 4:30 this coming Friday afternoon, right here at the turf of Hancock Stadium. There's Chris Kiley out there, sore back and all, shaking hands with the Aurora players, and boy, I hope they can get Kiley ready for that title game, because he is a tremendous, tremendous factor with this football team. Well, this is what high school football is all about. A tremendous victory for Central Catholic, a heartbreaking loss for a great football team from Aurora Central Catholic. One of those games you always, it's a cliche, and it's been said time and time again, but it's a game, it's a shame to see anybody lose, because both of them played a tremendous football game here this afternoon.
Boy, this game had everything you wanted, Art. Big plays, unusual plays, two teams competing right up to the very end. And you just can't say enough for the Central Catholic Saints. Boy, they've done a great job all year, and now they're going to the big game here next week.
The fact that their defense turned aside the Chargers without a score in the overtime, how huge was that, huh?
Well, you know, they pushed that ball on the first down real well, and then the second down play was when Kiley got hurt, and he was the spearhead in there. He stuck his nose in there, stopped the play along with Bardwell, and I think that was a key play on that overtime series, that second play by Aurora.
Well, the celebration goes on for Central Catholics, Saints, and a disappointment for the Chargers of Aurora Central Catholic in overtime, 27-21. Back with a look at the final stats in just a minute.
When you want this, you want the taste of this. But you can't eat this like this. So that's why we take the great taste of this and put it into this. Dabney's Steaks into Burgers. Sirloin, filet mignon, ribeye, New York strip, porterhouse, round, and chuck. Delivered fresh and ground daily. Unique quality in a Dabney's steak burger. A taste unmatched by any other. Steaks into Burgers at Dabney's off Veterans Parkway, Bloomington. Now, about our Dabney's shakes.
As you can see right now, the stands are empty, but believe me, when Telecable shows up to do a ball game, these stands fill up, and we'll have all kinds of action-packed football for you, as well as volleyball this fall on Telecable. Hi, I'm Art Kimball. I'm the play-by-play voice of Telecable. Let's see what's on tap this week. Well, there you see the final, 27-21 in overtime. The Saints defeat the Chargers from Aurora Central Catholic and Normesh. You know, we had an overtime game all year long on telecable. We wait to our final telecast and get it in the 3A semifinals. Let's go back and take a look at the Corey Parker scamper to pay dirt that won the ball game in OT. This was a first down play for the Saints.
Just a counter play, Art, like I said, and boy, they had some outstanding blocking out front. The key to it was blocking that in man and turn the corner for Corey, because they had some people downfield getting blocks also.
Looked like a tremendous middle letdown, too, for Aurora Central Catholic when they did not score in the overtime period. Boy, that really puts the pressure on you. And then on first down, the Saints ran it right at them. Let's take a look at the statistical story on the football game. Then Norman, I'll talk about a couple of things that transpired here this afternoon in one of the really great high school football games of the year. The first downs, Aurora Central Catholic dominant there, 16-8. In fact, they won all the stats. 237 rushing to 66 for Central Catholic Saints. 121 to 119. They even won the passing battle slightly. That was Tom C. completing 8 out of 18 with 1 interception. Tom Bardwell was 6 of 18 with 2 interceptions for his 119 yards. Total offense, the Chargers 358, the Saints 185. A couple of turnovers apiece. Penalties turned out to be fairly even. Time of possession was staggeringly in favor of the Aurorans in the first half. Central evened up quite a bit in the second half. But looking at those stats, the one thought that comes back to me, Normesh, the play I think that maybe was pivotal was the fumble by the Chargers down at the goal line going in for a possible go-ahead touchdown. That game never may have gone to overtime had they scored that time. They fumbled, and Kiley recovered the ball in the end zone. They got the Saints out of a tremendous hole, and they came back to win it.
Well, give credit to the Saints defense, because when a team gets down in that territory, what you got to do is play hard-nosed defense and go for a turnover, and that's exactly what happened, and that did turn the ball game. I mean, that saved the ball game for Central right there.
Yeah, absolutely, no question about it. The ball was on the ground, and Kiley, who unfortunately was injured late in the game, made one of many, many great plays at the right time. And certainly, I think also the defensive effort in the overtime coming right out of there, particularly after Kiley, who's the spiritual leader of this ball club, as well as on many occasions the physical leader. After Chris got hurt, and nevertheless, they still got the job done.
Sure. I mean, Kiley was part of that when he got hurt. That was a second down play for no gain. I think that was a key play in overtime. I really do, for the Saints defense.
I'd like to salute Bobby Mays and his staff at Central Catholic. What a tremendous coaching job. The
13-year-old child apparently burglarizing his home. Good evening. I'm Frank Vassalero.
And I'm Nancy Thiel. The man caught the teen in his home early this afternoon.
And our Keith Wilson arrived on the scene with the police, and he has this story for us tonight. Keith?
Frank and Nancy, imagine coming to your home.
So stay tuned.
Make your way to the riverside. Something is happening in paradise.
This November, it's the Paradise's 3rd anniversary 100.
Well, it's an exciting day for lots of high school football teams. Jim Matchell has traveled to several pregame pep rallies.
You'll see what he found there. Plus, he'll talk to Coach Lou Henson as Lou begins his 20th year of coaching the Fighting Illini. Sports is next.
Breeze still company for Priscilla Barnes, but now everyone gets naked. E.T. is next.
Where does Santa do all his holiday shopping? Why, at Target, of course, where right now you can get Amy Grant's Music of the Spirit, CD gift set and video, and her Home for Christmas and House of Love CDs, all at great low prices at Target.
This Friday is a day off, so what would anybody be doing up at 6 a.m.? Saving money during Farmer's deep discounts at daybreak. Starting at 6 a.m., find what you need for the holidays at low power buying prices. Sega Genesis game system plus 2 games free, an unbelievable $96. Holiday wrapping paper just 99 cents. Buy one, get one free. But you better get up early because they won't last all day. Only at Farmore, your super discount drug and holiday store.
Friday morning, the holiday start at 6 a.m. at Walmart.
This Super Nintendo Entertainment System with Super Mario World and Super Mario Paint is just $99.96.
Incredible savings Friday only, 5 hours only at Walmart.
A Polaroid 35mm camera with batteries and 2 rolls of film is only $19.
Friday morning from 6 to 11, the holiday start with savings. start at Walmart.
Take the comparison test. Which has more horsepower? Mitsubishi Galant. Which has more front headroom and legroom combined? Mitsubishi Galant. Of these monthly payments, which car is $209? The 1995 Mitsubishi Galant ES. $209 a month, built right here and loaded. Only at your O'Brien Automotive Group dealers. Parkway Mitsubishi Normal and Pioneer Park Mitsubishi Peoria.
I used to absolutely love big pep rallies in school. Right before a holiday, getting ready to go. Everyone's so excited.
It doesn't get any better than that. Yeah, 2 high schools are buzzing today. Are you ready for some football? Well, the folks at Lexington High School and Bloomington Central High are certainly ready. Yeah, today is the last day of school before Friday's big state championship games. That means, yep, today, pep rally day in Lexington. The Minutemen students and fans, yeah, saying, fear this, Lexington opponents. The Minutemen are fired up. They're ready to play football already.
Oh, I am ready. I was born ready for this. I want this so bad. All of us, we're just so excited. We're going to go down to the turf.
So Friday can't come soon enough.
Oh, that's for sure.
Lexington kicks off at 10 a.m. Friday. Good luck to the Minutemen at Bloomington Central Catholic. Well, the Saints, the Saints are playing like champions this year. Now, check this out. At Central Catholic, they already have a spot reserved for the 3A trophy. They already got the 1A. They already got the 2A. Now, they got the spot already all set for that 3A trophy.
Well, after what I believe is going to happen on Friday, I'm going to be comparing everybody to the 94 Saints.
It's been a remarkable year already. Bloomington Central Catholic plays at 4:30 Friday more with the Saints and Minutemen at 10. In pro football, the NFL today gives the Chicago Bears permission to start printing playoff tickets. Let me repeat that. The NFL today gives the Chicago Bears permission to start printing playoff tickets. I like that story.